Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for State of Origin Game 2 after a very eventful first match where we saw Queensland come out of the gates firing just to then be beaten in the final moments by the New South Wales side. We're back. Game 2. It's been already 3 weeks since the last match. We've got 3 more weeks until we get into the next one. I'm thoroughly excited for this game. It is at the MCG in front of a very packed crowd. Quite a few changes for these two sides as well across their starting side. Starting with the Blues though, James Tedesco, the veteran, at the back with the number 1 jersey on his back. Brian To'o, that man's hands were not working in State of Origin Game 1. It was a little bit confusing because normally he is extremely clinical with ball in hand. Every time he touched that ball, particularly in the first half, something was just going wrong. Just kept on slipping through the fingers. They have got Kohler and Staggs as the centres. Mark Nawangani Tawasi goes out onto the wing. He is a dangerous player too. Definitely one to keep an eye out for. He still has that highlight try that many people talk about. Used to be in the Waratahs. Got a couple opportunities for Australia internationally in Union. Has been tearing it up in the NRL as well. Looking through at the rest. And this is an intriguing combo here. It will be Mitchell Moses at 6 and Nathan Cleary at number 7. Both of those men love being playmakers. Cleary, of course, having some absolutely key moments throughout the second half of the last contest up against Queensland. But Mitchell Moses coming back after a bit of an injury concern. Certainly going to be intriguing. See how those two work together. Also back into this Origin side, it is Payne Haas at number 8, Reece Robson at 9, Mitchell Barnett, Hudson Young, Dylan Lucas, and Isaiah Yeo, the captain, as the number 13. So a few changes for this New South Wales side compared to what we did see in the last game. There is no Brayley, no Casey McLean to make his way off the bench. Saifiti also not there, no Burton, and no Stephen Crichton for this game. Either looking through at the Queenslanders, then we will be reading all the chat messages that are popping through, but in the backs it will be Kalen Ponga, Selwyn Cobbo, and also Toya comes in as that number 3. Although actually, no, never mind, he was already there last week. In fact, they've made very little changes across the back line here, Queensland. They've got Tobai Fido as the number 4. Fafita, Cameron Munster, and Sam Walker again will be at number 7. He showed a lot of maturity in the way that he played throughout the first matchup, and hopefully we'll be able to do just that again here at the MCG. Looking through at the forwards, it is Flegler as the number 8, Harry Grant alongside Tino Fa'asu Malawi, Nakora, Capewell, and Cotter as the 13. But we have got a whole heap of messages coming through. We have got Up the Blues, says Seppi earlier on. We have got there, hopefully we can actually watch. Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off YouTube. But there will be a few options around. I know that on the NRL YouTube channel, they will have the highlights of this game pretty much straight after the game concludes. We have got there, hi, says Anna, welcome in. And she is picking New South Wales. New South Wales all the way, says Tupo. Of course, we should mention currently 1-0 up in the series. If they were to win this game, they would take out the series with a game in hand. Of course, they still would be playing that next match, and that's taken place in 3 weeks' time. We have got Hi from Fortnite NBA. How's your week been, Hamish? It's been a hectic one. We're already up to Wednesday. It is almost the weekend with, of course, some great matches still to come on the rugby union side of things. Got a Super Rugby final, a URC final, and a little bit of internationals. The Barbarians in the box, both going to be in action. We have got the what's up, dude fella? You've been watching FIFA World Cup? Not actually a huge amount of it. I did watch New Zealand's game up against Iran to a certain extent. I watched till about the 80th minute, then got nervous and decided to go to the gym. And then during that last kind of 10 minutes, I was looking at my phone every once in a while, looking at the score rather than the game. But yeah, they did very well getting that 2-2 draw in the end. And we have got the Australia is the controllers. Bangladesh, they were born 133. They need 174. I assume that's cricket talk, but it's also auto-corrected a little bit. You know, stream the Egypt game next week? No idea yet. It depends on work and everything along those lines as well. We have got their Fortnite, says the AI, and Queensland on top, G, says Dre. And I will mention it again. It is a statistic that I said time and time again last matchup of the Origin series. The winner of the first match the last couple years has not gone on to win the series. So there's a bit of extra pressure here on the Blues to be able to perform in this scenario. What we will quickly do is go like this, though. This is how it sits in terms of the odds, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, $1.92 and $1.92. No one knows what way this game is going to go. But that is what makes it so entertaining and so exciting. We saw Queensland have a dominant lead at halftime in the last contest just to then go on and lose the game 22 points to 20. It was some Cleary brilliance throughout the second 40. And of course now they've got the reinforcement of Mitchell Moses in there too. So there's going to be danger coming from all sorts of angles. You'd assume that To'o will be able to catch the ball this week, and there will be more danger out on that wing as well. But overall, yeah, it's going to be a good one. And we're only sitting around 15 minutes away from the kickoff of the contest. The next game, it is going to be a Queensland home match. That is on the 8th of July. Same time as this one's going to be kicking off. But depending on what happens in this game, that is either going to be the one that is 2-0 already and secured for the New South Wales side, or it's going to be the one where Queensland can try and get that redemption. And like I said, last 2 years, the team that has won the first game has gone on to then lose the next two. This is an example right here. 2024, Queensland, they did extremely well in the first game, winning at 38 points to 10. They then lost the second by 20 and lost the third by 10, and that one was at home. They weren't quite able to get the job done. Then, and is another example, 2025, New South Wales, well, they came out of the gates firing. They got the win away from home, but then they lost the second and they lost the third. So, what I'm pretty much saying is this game's still well and truly on, and the fact that it's 50-50, the fact that there are very little changes made by Queensland tells you that they're confident in this side. They feel like they probably had enough firepower to get the job done in match one, but it just slipped through the fingertips. And of course, the elephant in the room that we haven't even mentioned, that red card in the second half, that did change the momentum. As soon as they lost Kalen Ponga from the back, they started conceding time and time again, and that is what New South Wales needed to really jumpstart their comeback in match number one. We have got there, I'm going to the Wars Cowboys game this Sunday, so hopefully you do thoroughly enjoy it. We have got there goes Queensland. Hamish, love your channel, brother. CSF tagging all goes. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. And go the Black Caps too. Of course, they are going to be starting up in about 8 minutes' time. I don't actually know who won the toss for that England versus New Zealand one. So if anyone does know, do please inform me. When does the All Blacks team get announced? Monday, 22nd of June. Not sure of an exact time as of yet, but I assume it's going to be on Sky. Go New South Wales and James Tedesco. Tedesco will score more tries. He's just a Origin veteran, isn't he? James Tedesco, he had some brilliant moments throughout match one. He was safe at the back, which is exactly what you want. And I do actually think that overall, I would say a lot of credit for that first half anyway did go to Queensland in terms of the way they were able to handle that high ball that Nathan Cleary was sending down towards them. If they can do that again and just be a little bit more strategic throughout the second 40 minutes, they'll have a good chance here to be able to level the series. It's at the MCG. There is a crowd that is absolutely packed out by the looks of it. They'll be wanting to see action from end to end, which is exactly what we got last time these two sides played. We have got the going to play their live game. Sadly, any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike, banned for 3 months and potentially sued. So we are just going to be doing the play-by-play. You may be able to find it on YouTube for like 5 seconds before they strike it down on other channels, but we won't be showing it due to the fact that we would then potentially get sued. We have got their New South Wales Blues. Says John Ben there. The toss got delayed to 11. Oh, is it raining in England? Well, that's not a surprise that it's raining, but it's just a shame that they're going to be delayed. Again, up the Maroons, watching it live right now. Says Jetsa there. And also, we have the Maroons will take it back. Says Satiri. And Hamish of the Goats of calling games without live pictures. I reckon you could do some NPC commentary, brother. I actually did see earlier on, though, that it's actually going to be shown on TVNZ here in New Zealand, which is quite nice. The toss got delayed to 10 p.m. New Zealand time. Isn't that the normal time that it, like, oh no, that would have been the start time, wouldn't it? So they're going to be delayed by a little bit, but hopefully not a massive amount. And surely there will be more than one Highlander in the All Blacks like you predicted. Says Highlanders fan. Surely there will be more than one Highlander in the All Blacks like you predict. I didn't predict one Highlander though. I predicted, or it wasn't actually a prediction either, it was my team. I selected Ethan de Groot, Lucas Casey, Timothy Tavanawai, and potentially Jonah Lowe if Lester Whainanuku was injured. So I actually predicted a lot more Highlanders than probably a lot of people. And we over there go the Maroons, says Christy. And test match in England will play soon. Mopping up now, says Hep tagging all goes. The players out here just warming up. ready to go for this contest. But having Payne Haas back into the side, he is a battering ram and a half. What did I see then? Obviously not my video, because I had a few Highlanders in the mix for my side. We see there Cleary warming up too. He is going to be the man that holds this side's, I guess, outcome of this game in his hands. And I know that that's a lot of pressure on one man, but what he was able to do in the second half last Origin match was absolutely brilliant. I think that the best case scenario for Queensland is to shut him down, put pressure on Mitchell Moses as well. The ABs get announced on Monday at 11 to 12. And we have good morning. What do you think of Springboks? Interesting side that we saw Rassi select, but it was always going to be the absence of the Bulls players. We have there who's kicking for the Springboks Saturday. No idea. Ask Rassi. He'll tell you. But these two sides, one thing that we do know about them is it's going to be a lot of running meters between these two teams. There was around the average of around 40 to 45 at times throughout that second half, which I think was starting to show a little bit in terms of who was having the momentum. Do you think Cody Taylor gets ABs? Probably. I'll be surprised if they left him out. Who's coach of the Barbars H? Scott Robertson is the man in charge of that, but the MCG, there's not a huge amount of empty seats, maybe up on the top tiers, but I'd say they've got over 60,000 in attendance for this contest. They have got the countdown clock of 3 minutes and 50 seconds, but that isn't actually when it starts. They did this last time out. There's actually about a 5 or 10 minute delay from then. And I would say we are getting very close to the stage of starting to get a few predictions going, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't already, let me know. Will it be the Queenslanders making it 1-1, or will it be New South Wales today securing the series? We have got there Queensland must mitigate readily too. Coming off the bench last game was effective for New South Wales, says Heptagonal Ghost. And yeah, I haven't even mentioned the interchange players as of yet. It's a few handy ones, including a return of Reece Walsh. He is there as the number 18 on the interchange list. A few handy players off the bench as well for New South Wales. So I think when they use their subs is going to be very crucial. Taylor starts against France. Maybe. He'll be the freshest out of all of them when you think about it, because he didn't play in the Super Rugby final, whereas the other two would have if they do go Tolkiaho and Asafo and more. How you, my friend, says Mohadin doing very well. And Wahoo says Selena and there as well. I'm going to predict less than 8 to... See, I was going to go less than 6, but 6 seems a little bit low. I feel like someone's got to take this game, and kind of secure it well and truly. It does normally happen in one of these two other matches after the first one. Game normally gets a little bit more open. Could be looking at somewhere around a 30 to 12 if someone really gets going, but I don't know whether either of these sides will be that much better than the other purely because of the way that the bookmakers see this one being $1.92 each way. When does the URC start? I assume that's the URC, right? And that is going to be Saturday morning, 6:45 is when the final's taking place. New South Wales, it's the first prediction there. And also, we better do first try scorers, because last time I got it wrong. This time, I'll get it wrong again. But I actually think To'o. I'm thinking Brian's going to have a much better game than he had last time round. When's the last of the games? As in, like, the last of the games of the weekend, or like the last of the New South Wales one that is taking place in 3 weeks' time. If you're talking about the State of Origin, that one's going to be taking place in Queensland and at the same kickoff time as this matchup. So either we go into that last match 1-1 for these two sides, or it will be the other side of the equation, and that would be that the New South Wales side have secured the victory of the series before even having to play in match number 3. Now, they have made more changes compared to Queensland when it comes to the starting lineups, and also a couple little switches in the interchange department. And again, that to me says that Queensland feel their side on paper were strong enough to get the job done. They just made those errors in the second half. Kalen Ponga got himself the red card, which certainly did not help their chances of getting over. I got Maki. Yeah, Mark Nawanga, of course, someone to keep a close eye on out there on the wing. This will actually, realistically for me, I think this is the first game we've commentated that has involved Mark Nawanga since he's gone to the NRL. I think since doing the Wallabies games with him in the side, I don't think I've covered another one of his games. There's something there. I got a Jerome Luai advertisement. Says Heptagonal. And also I know, you know what I like? You didn't pick Bowden. Better step up on the tour. Is DMAC your second 10 cemented? Well, it's a tricky one because I got a little bit of stick for not selecting Richie Mo'unga, even though Mo'unga's not actually eligible. So it just, yeah, it's an interesting one, but I do think that Mo'unga you look at in November, maybe chucking him in there. But yeah, I think you go, if you're selecting Cortez Ratama, you go Ratama McKenzie combo, and then you go Roigard and Love combo, and try and keep it roughly in the Super Rugby sides. That way, if you're going to play Geordie Barrett as a centre, you can have him alongside Roigard, as well as having Ruben Love as your 10. And then on the other side, you go Quintupai and McKenzie as that 10 and 12 combo. Maroons win 24 points to the 18. Says Trevor for his prediction. Queensland by 50. 50's Queensland would love to win this game by 5, I would think, but 50 would be a statement and a half at the MCG. I'm not sure what the biggest margin between these two sides has been at the MCG stadium, but it would have to be right up there, wouldn't it? If that was the way that it worked out. And we have got there Jerome Luai as a sandwich addict, from what I can gather. A sandwich addict. Is that like from the ad that you said that you ended up getting? First try Munster. Says the real Ando, and also God bless New South Wales. Says Samoan pride there. And there are certainly plenty of players who can turn this game into a good one in terms of their skill levels, the tackling, the big hits. It's all going to be happening in a very short amount of time. I'd say we're about 9 minutes from the kickoff. They always say that the countdown is till now, but then they add an extra like 10 minutes onto it as well. But Cameron Munster, the captain, I mentioned about how strong Sam Walker actually was in that first game. He seemed like he had played a lot more games of Origin than it being his very first. He has to try and control this game for Queensland because he's up against Nathan Cleary. And I think that at this stage, that head-to-head, even though, again, Walker only had his debut 3 weeks ago in State of Origin, that has become one of the most crucial ones, as well as, I would say, the Munster versus Moses battle. In the number 6 jersey, Payne Haas and Flegler, Harry Grant up against Reece Robson. There's so many little individual head-to-heads that could shape this game. Kalen Ponga, he needs to stay out there for the whole game and not get a red card if Queensland want a brilliant chance of going on and winning this game. Wins kickoff. It is probably about, I'd say, 8 minutes away. Again, they normally say that it's going to happen at 10, and then they delay, and then they delay, and then they delay, and then all of a sudden it's 10 past 10 before they actually get underway. The two sides make their way out onto the field. The MCG is rocking at the moment. And Cobbo, first try scorer for me. Yeah, well, he was brilliant under the high ball in State of Origin match 1, wasn't he? He was doing extremely well, being able to stop any chance of a New South Wales interception. I just love the MCG as well. I went there for the New Zealand-Australia test match. I want to say it was like 2020. Maybe it was later than that. I can't actually remember what year it was. But the stadium, when they start playing a bit of music and the crowd start getting loud, it is electric out there. And of course, State of Origin, it normally brings the absolute best out of the fans in terms of the crowd numbers and the noise. It's a big smile on a few of the New South Wales boys' faces, but there are a few nervous looks in that side as well. Blues blessed. Says Moto Max, MCG is an awesome stadium. Says the real Ando. It is Io leading his side out onto the field. He's got James Tedesco, the veteran, again behind him here. Will he actually show the game? Sadly not. Any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike. You are allowed to do the play-by-play commentary on the match, though, just like the radio-style commentary. But any match footage, you're gone straight away. Banned for 3 months, and they say, see you later. And they don't let you come back. England won the toss and will bowl. I think it starts in 30 minutes, says Mr. Shubadood. But once again, do let me know your score predictions for this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Decider, says the AO underdog. If Queensland win this game, we go to the deciding match in 3 weeks' time. If New South Wales win this game, then the series is done and dusted. They get themselves the championship for 2026, and then they can do whatever they want to in the final game. RIP Queensland, says Tangaroa there. Payne Haas, the big man, back out there on the field. I will just quickly mention the players who have come into the side for these two teams. For the Queenslanders, they have got Luki. has come in. Taulangi, Reece Walsh, and Finney, I think it is Fiuaki. And that number is 16 for this game. In terms of the Blues, the players that they have brought in, they've got Kurisau, they've got Dylan Lucas, Bostock, Mark Nawanganitawasi, Mitchell Moses, Payne Haas. Not exactly a bad list of guys to bring into a lineup when you are 1-0 up in the series. The close one, it did take place a few weeks ago. 22 points to 20. At halftime, it was 20-6 in favour of Queensland. New South Wales in that second half, they were a bookmaker's worst nightmare because they were huge underdogs. Came back and won the whole thing. We have got there 25-20 to Queensland, says Mike Rehana. And also 46-10 to Queensland in the score prediction there. So there have been a few really big predictions in favour of Queensland. So I think a lot of people expect them to be able to bounce back and have a massive moment. Did you see that story? What story are we? Oh, Ashley Klein, the bookmaker. Yeah, he was like $400,000 down in debt or something. And we have got there, when's the game starts? Will you play it so we can watch it? Sadly, any sort of footage like that, if I was to play it on YouTube, they take you straight down within about half a second because it automatically strikes it and then you get banned for 3 months. So, yeah, sadly, like you may be able to find the occasional like illegal stream on YouTube, I would think, but then they get taken down pretty quickly too because they do all get automatically struck as well. 18-16, said Tangaroa. If I am correct though, I think depending on the country that you're in, you can actually watch this free to air. Some of which do actually have it available on the NRL website, I want to say. And what's your prediction, brother? See a Shaq? Sorry. I'm going Queensland by 8, only because I want it to be a decider 1-1 going into the third. But, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a... Well, the thing is, if they get a lead, they will have in their back of the mind what happened not too long ago. But they are just having the Australian national anthem, ladies and gentlemen. And then from there, we are underway for this matchup. Again, we do want to very quickly mention the last 2 years. The winner of game number 1 lost the series. So this is where New South Wales, they want to break that little bit of a weird curse that's going on if you get yourself the first victory. That was 2024. Queensland won the first. They went on to lose the next 2. 2025, New South Wales won the first. They went on to then lose the series as well. So, it's been a bit of a weird one. The last couple of years, you almost don't want to win the first one. But in this case, I think New South Wales heading into the MCG here, they'd much rather be 1-0 up than 1-0 down, with this game being well and truly on the line. And the series up for grabs up against one of their huge rivals when it comes to Aussie sport. We have got there watch NRL, as it on streaming in every country except Australia and New Zealand, says Kiwi there. And also we have the New South Wales all the way, says Adele, and Queensland on top. And listening to work here in North Wales. And coming you Blues, says James Lay. And there as well. But the national anthem has been sung. The crowd has filed in for this game. We are only moments away from kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, do let me know your score predictions as well as who you think will be scoring the first try of this Origin matchup. I've gone Brian To'o only because of the fact that it was weird that last game, he had so many handling errors for a guy that's normally extremely clinical. They have packed a few more big players into their starting lineup here too, with Mark Nawanganitawasi, Payne Haas, Mitchell Moses, all in the equation. But Queensland, they got off to a flying start in the last match. So perhaps it could be one of their big forwards, Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, Harry Grant, or one of these quick stepping backs of Selwyn Cobbo, Fafita. There are so many dangerous players who can score the tries. That's what's going to make this game so epic for the 80 minutes. If New South Wales lose, I'll shave my head, says Annie there, and up the Blues. Well, speaking of shaved heads, here's Ashley Klein, the man who will be in charge of this game. A referee who has a lot of responsibility in this game. We are 6 seconds away from the kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. It will be New South Wales kicking this one off at the MCG from left to right, and we are underway for State of Origin. Game 2 kicked off long, about 5 metres out from Queensland's line, and a big collision early on. Sitting just outside of the 10-metre line for Flegler. Is where Queensland need to make those early meters too, rather than getting trapped inside of their half, or else eventually you think New South Wales will be able to break them down. Tino Fa'asuamaleaui runs straight at Payne Haas. That is a battle that hopefully will take place multiple times throughout this game. Big collision there on Nakora. It's going to be held well by the two New South Wales defenders. Up to fourth tackle already. They're up to the 40-metre line here for the Queenslanders. It'll be fifth and final. Gained about 34 metres there. Munster sends it high and long off his left boot. Taking 20 metres out from their own line here. Queensland, bit of a slip for Mark Ngawanganetawasi. We have it out the Maroons. Says Fire Ants there. Now big collision there with James Tedesco as well. We have a lot of crucial metres throughout this game. Cleary goes to the short side. A nice low tackle there on Staggs. Sitting on the halfway line at the moment for New South Wales. They're up to their fourth tackle as well. These first few sets will go extremely quickly. Payne Haas tackled low by Nakora, and that is their fifth tackle now. About to be completed. 39 metres gained. He kicks that one high. Cleary gets a little bit of a late shot on him. This one's hard under the high ball, but a beautiful take from Kalen Ponga to be able to stop the chance of the turnover. Queensland back with the ball in hand. Queensland all day. And also free haircut for Annie, says a shuck there too. Currently the Queenslanders, they are in possession of the ball 30 metres out from their own try line. It was a big ugly collision in the air between Ponga and I believe it was Mitchell Moses there. But luckily, no one was injured from it. Now, pick and go there from Ponga. Across to the left-hand side, finds Thomas Flegler again. This time getting up to the halfway line for Queensland. Only 27 metres gained. Munster again will kick it long and high off his left, being chased hard but nicely taken by Mark Ngawanganetawasi. A lot of pressure on him every time that he's touched the ball so far. Definitely after that first slip that he did have in the early stages. And the ball up again was Katoni Staggs. Asia on the game says, White Rose, sadly not any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike, banned for 3 months, potentially sued by the NRL. But it is, like someone mentioned, it is available on NRL TV as long as you're outside New Zealand and Australia. Your best options. Now going away to the left-hand side. Moving it on nicely for New South Wales, getting it out into the wider channels where Brian To'o is tackled nicely near the sideline. Up to the fifth again. 31 metres gained. Good defence so far from both of the sides. Not a huge amount of metres being made on either side. Ponga has all the time in the world to be able to run this one back from his 10-metre. Tackled nicely by Hudson Young. Back across to the left-hand side here. Queenslanders with Toya. A lot of pressure on Kalen Ponga. This is tough, says Yosonali in there. Yeah, these two sides, they have done extremely well. I think the most metres we've seen gained was like 39 or somewhere around there, which is extremely low. Normally you want to get up towards that kind of 45, 50 mark, but now backline movement here for Queensland. Mark Ngawanganetawasi caught up his wing, and this is now some big metres being made here by Salman Cobbo. Fifth and final, that's more like a 58 metres gain. Little grubber kicked him behind, trying to get it forward, and it's come off a Blues player, which means Queensland have another set of 6. Ponga running sideways, pops it on the inside, and a nice line break for Robert Toya. He is held on to by the Blues defence. 20 metres out from the line. Munster with a pick and go. Tries to get the offload away and does so. Slammed on his back and held there in a half guard. One of the Blues defenders. Payne Haas, big shot coming in. Now back across to the left-hand side. Moves it on nicely. Ponga with the short ball. Queensland only 5 metres from the New South Wales line. Oh, is that illegal? It's a penalty awarded there to Queensland. That was a little bit cynical there from the Blues, but they will be taking that every day of the week. Harry Grant happy with it. Up the Blues, says Deanna there, and also where they go, the Maroons, says Young D. Yeah, Nathan Cleary just playing at the hand of Harry Grant as he looked to send it away to the right-hand side. Right, interesting. They're taking the early points here, Queensland, which I don't mind because I think there'll be a few nerves around at the moment for these two sides. It's an easy 2, you'd like to think. Should give them a nice 2-point lead early in this contest, but that was their best set, you'd have to say, in terms of the last 5 minutes or so. Did see that break down the left-hand side. Do you show the game says wide roll? Once again, sadly not, due to copyright infringement. It would be illegal to show any sort of match footage or even audio gets you copyrighted as well. And coming the Maroons, says Daniel Ghost, and good reset, says Shaq. And the Maroons, says NK. Now, ready to kick this one. It does go straight down the middle, so the lead now with the Queenslanders. Scoreline sitting 2-0. But, of course, anything less than 14 points, you'd have to argue is not enough in State of Origin. We learnt that from the first game. When is that game? Says Malafaiti. Hopefully I've said that correctly. As in, like, when is this one that's currently taking place? Or the third game? Potentially. Third game's 3 weeks away. Currently, we're 7 minutes into this game 2 of State of Origin. The Queenslanders lead. That is a massive mistake there. Mark Nwanganitawasi offloads on the inside. The Blues may have just scored. It was just an initial, what looked like just a simple pass to then hit the ball up off kickoff. That then led to the turnover for the Blues. Mark Nwanganitawasi, he offloaded it. Got a little bit risky there as it almost led back to the Queenslanders. But Katoni Staggs goes in for try number 1. That is how quickly you can go from defending to attack. But it was a stock standard kickoff. And a pass there that just slipped through the fingertips of Flegler. And unfortunately for him, he had to watch Katoni Staggs go over and score the try in front of him. And Australia's free to wear to watch on Channel 9 in New Zealand. Even the ABs ain't free to wear, says Stoic there. And also it's on 9 now as well, says Real Ando. Yeah, Mark Nwanganitawasi. And then they're just showing the grounding. Yeah, he managed to slam it down, Katoni Staggs. And go the Maroons, says Elizabeth. And go New South Wales, says Mark. Trying to remember if anyone had Katoni Staggs as the first try scorer in this contest in terms of the earlier predictions that we did see. Mark Nwanganitawasi heavily involved in that one. I pinned the points. And also we have got their always Maroons. 8 minutes down in this contest. Now Nathan Cleary. There's a little bit of a boo ringing out around the MCG. I think there are a few Queensland supporters who have made the trip to Melbourne. But he still gets it over. Makes the score 6 points to 2 now in favour of New South Wales. Fox in the USA. And New South in your mouth, says Caleb. I haven't heard that one before. But 8 minutes in, it's been a hectic start. And just throughout that last kind of 2 minutes or so, we've seen both sides be able to get themselves some form of points. And I says Velma Rose, welcome in. If you are doing extremely well, I will mention anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back for match number 3 of State of Origin. And also alongside that, we are going to be covering the Rugby League World Cup on the channel too. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. It has kicked off long. And now, of course, the New South Wales boys don't want to do the same thing that they've just seen Queensland do. But it's a good hit up. This time from Mitchell Barnett. With a good take from Mitchell Moses on his own goal line. Brian To'o with the second carry. Got the benefit of so many attacking threats here in New South Wales. But the Queenslanders, they have done decently in terms of the defending. Is To'o getting touches? I think that was actually his first touch there, Brian To'o, of the match thus far. Or at least the first one that I've called out. But he's done better than he did at the start of last game. Are we watching it at? I'm watching on Sky Sport 2 here in New Zealand. 5th and final, 32 metres gained for New South Wales. Going deep with the kick. Nicely taken by Queensland. About 18 metres out from their line. Big collision there. And the 3-man tackle, including the captain, Isaiah Yo. And up the Blues is Stephen. Popped up again. Payne Haas involved in that tackle. Harry Grant, important role to play here. And that 9 jersey for this matchup. Now back across the right-hand side again, just not a massive amount of metres being made currently for Queensland. I mean, hoping for a 6 again or something like that. Some sort of big mistake, a penalty against this New South Wales team. Blues are going to win, says Jeanette. Now, 33 metres gained and a kick downfield from Sam Walker. To'o takes it cleanly under the high ball. It's his second carry of the game. I say free to air in New Zealand? Don't think so. Free to air in Australia. For us in New Zealand, it's on Sky Sport 2. Now going away to the right-hand side, Tedesco, good hands. It's across to Mark Nawanga-Netawasi. Trying to force him back towards his goal area. And I says Velma again. Now James Tedesco steps through one. Can't quite get through the second. Up to 4 tackles now. Cleary, quick hands. So couldn't quite get it where he wanted to on the outside there with the pass from Katoni Staggs. And now it puts pressure on New South Wales defence. The Queenslanders will have the attack from about 30 metres out. We see it there, just trying to move it on as quickly as they could, but Mark Nawanga-Netawasi was up in the line to go in behind him up the Blues. Says Adele there. Queenslanders now 25 metres out from New South Wales' line. Are you watching? Yes, on Sky Sport 2. New South Wales all the way, says Adele. And Nakora. We've seen 2 handling errors so far, or 2 errors in general from New South Wales. 1 from Queensland. Munster moves it on. Thought about passing one more. It just takes that one to ground as Capewell. Back across to the right again. Munster almost thought about switching back to the right, but they are getting closer. Tino Fa'asuamaleaui puts it on the outside to Flegler. Only 8 metres out from the try line now. Turning his back to the line. And running it was Ruben Cotter. That'll be the 5th and final now. 26 metres gained throughout it. Cross kick attempted now. It's going to be a tough one for Oh, tell you what, he may not have taken that one cleanly. And I think Fafita's landed on the ball with his back, I believe. So they're saying it's originally a New South Wales knock-on. Brian To'o, he's leapt up to try and grab that ball. It's hit him in the chest. I don't know if he's even got a hand to it, To'o. Which might turn it into play on. Unless it's at the bicep. No, in fact, I think that's a knock-on from Queensland, actually. I think there's a half little touch off Fafita's elbow there. We have there Queensland all the way. Says Lairu. Okay, first knock-ons from Queensland, so it is going to be Blues ball now. I joined another stream and it almost hacked me. Some people are, yeah. Though, like, that's the other risk of the illegal streams. Like, even when you see them on YouTube, how they'll have a link and say, oh, click it to then watch it, but all they try and do is take control of either your phone or your computer. So you got to be very careful in terms of those links that they put out there. Currently the Blues in possession of the ball. New South Wales. Says Ruape there. And go New South Wales, says Trace there too. Azaio, the captain. Gonna be tackled again. Sitting here, 3rd tackle. Still inside of their own half. And again, we've only seen one set that has had more than 50 metres gained. That is something that's almost a bit of a rarity. In fact, we've only seen one set. Oh, that's 6 again. That's not going to help. They're going to make more than 50 metres here, just not in the one set. Payne Haas tackle round the halfway line. That is a mistake that the Maroons could not afford to have. Now moving it on, Moses. Tackle by Nakora. Again, up against his opposite number. Back across now, Moses moves it on to Cleary. 2 playmakers. Bit of a late shot there on Cleary as well. I think that Queensland have decided any chance that they can get to slightly wear down Cleary, they will be willing to take a Zaio straightening run tackle by Fa'asuamaleaui. I'll wait to the left-hand side. Moses moves it on now. Nice inside ball. Big collision there on Lucas. How do you watch the actual game? It's on Sky Sport here in New Zealand. It's on 9 Now in Australia. It's on NRL TV pretty much everywhere else. Trying to slap that one back was Mark Nawanga-Netawasi, and it's knocked on. And they are going to be going back now. We have got their live chat. Says D-Roy there. And also we've got their Go the Maroons. Says Richard. And thank you, bro. Salutes from Coromandel Town. Is that Coromandel is in like in the North Island of New Zealand? Because if so, I actually went there last year. I think it was early last year. I got the worst sunburn on my feet I've ever had in the Coromandel. 6 again, the call now for Queensland. So New South Wales doing the exact same as what the Maroons did only moments ago. Hanging on to that tackle for that little bit too long. Now Grant moves it on again to the left-hand side. Already we've had 15 minutes through this contest. And we have got their second game is for the Mighty Maroons. So here's Matthew there. Close to the sideline, but they managed to keep it in the field of play coming New South Wales. Says Iana there. And I says, Willie, welcome in. Who do you support? I have the benefit of being a New Zealander who's pretty impartial with most things. Oh, a little bit of a scuffle here afterwards. I mean, a couple of the players who were not happy with each other. Actually, Klein getting right into the middle of this and trying to settle it down from the get-go. Of course, State of Origin, you're going to see a little bit of something in terms of the passion and a bit of aggression from the two sides. It was a little bit too high there. I think that was from Hudson Young, and a couple of the Queenslanders didn't take too lightly to them trying to rip their number 7 to the turf walker. And we have their State of Origin game 2 live. Says Betty, and also we've got the Hamish, which New Zealand province are you streaming from? I am in Canterbury at the moment. Now, big tackle on Tino Faso Malawi, but they have got themselves in a very good position on the field here. Queensland, first tackle, sitting 20 metres out. Munster moves it on to the left-hand side. Again to Kurt Capewell and Aberdeenshire. And Scotland, nice shuffle step there from, would have been to Bay Fidel. They're only 3 metres out from the line now, Queensland. Back across to the 10 metre. Now Munster moves it on. Good step in the midfield. Couldn't quite sneak through. They're getting close. Up to the 4th tackle. Now moving away to the right-hand side. Ponga, quick hands. But he can't quite get the next receiver through a gap. 5th and final now. Do they go for the kick? Or do they go for the back line? It looks like they're going to try and get some front foot going forward. They've gone for the grubber and the ball goes dead. And we'll now go back for New South Wales ball. We have got there New South Wales all the way. Says clear. And Queensland all the way. There's a fra big shot on Mark Nawanga-Netawasi. And couldn't watch the game on TV because I had to go to the bathroom. So here I am, says Hugh Monka. Well, welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Only 24 minutes remaining in this first half. New South Wales, they've had the 1 try of Katoni Staggs. Outside of that, we are sitting 6 points to 2. And who got first try? It was Katoni Staggs in the end. Oh, that's high. Well, looked a little bit high anyway from Munster. He was turning his body away from it. Now Cleary moves it on again. Couple more passes. Opportunity on the outside to get it to To'o, but couldn't quite get it away. Haven't seen a huge amount of To'o carries in the early stages. Now back across to the right. Cleary moves it on to Tedesco. Now Staggs in a bit of space. The 1 try score. Oh, he almost did the splits there. That would have stretched the groin. 5th and final for New South Wales. They have 46 metres gained this time. Cleary going with the up and under. Coming down about 20 metres out from the line. Tedesco slaps it back onto the side of the Blues. Going for the grubber there was Cleary. And it's back in the hands of Queensland. We have going to go the Blues. Says Valissa there. Go New South Wales. Says Otia Smith. Big shot again, this time on Selwyn Cobbo. He's another man who we haven't seen a huge amount of carries from as of yet. A little bit of afters there. Mitchell Barnett trying to push his head into the turf as he was getting back up. To their 3rd tackle, 30 metres out from the line. It's quite interesting the way that both of these sides are playing currently, because compared to the first match, where we saw it be pretty open at times throughout that first half, both of these sides are playing almost in a way conservatively. They haven't gone for any massive risks, not yet anyway. But that doesn't mean that they won't throughout the later stages of this half. Oh, a little bit of a swirling one for Tedesco to be able to line up. And he's taken it nicely, 40 metres from his line. How many minutes in are we right now? We're currently sitting 18 minutes into this contest between the two sides. Now we have there go New South Wales. There's Flora go the Maroons. Says hi. And Maroons go for the win, I believe it says Max. Now Brian To'o, that's a solid carry. Got a few extra metres past Tino Malawi as well. Payne Haas. Oh, okay. Tino's no good. That looked like Tino was on wobbly legs there for a second. He seems to have recovered from it, but it would not surprise me one bit if that man has to go off the field for a bit of a head injury assessment. There they go, New South Wales, and again up to 36 metres gained from their 5. Go on with the kick high again. This time it is Mitchell Moses. Cobbo leaves that one alone for Kalen Ponga to run onto. Go the Blues, says Johnny. Back across to the right. 6 points to 2 at the moment. And again, I can't get over how well both of these sides have defended throughout the first 20 minutes of this one. We've only seen the one try, and that was down to the mistake made. Oh, okay, yep, they're about to make the change for Tino Malawi. It would be Lindsay Collins as the replacement, and I think that is from that head knock that we saw him take just before. Watching from Tonga. And there as well, of course, Tonga, one of the sides that will be taking part in that Rugby League World Cup. Thoroughly enjoyed watching them last year in the Pacific Championship. Now Tedesco. I don't know if Tino will be back for the rest of this game. Canterbury is cool, brother. I'd love to do combine harvesting in South Canterbury. Do you do silage and whatnot? Or like mowing and whatnot? I might be able to find you something maybe. Going off to the right-hand side, Mark Nawanga-Netawasi. About 40 metres out from the line at the moment. Up to the third tackle. New South in your mouth, says Cyrus. That's one that I haven't heard until today, and now I've heard it twice. Is it like a common one? It does get said. Oh, another player injured here. In back play. Looks like he's on wobbly legs for Queensland. That might be 2 concussions in 2 minutes here for the Maroons. Now 6 again. The call once more. They're just making meters for fun. That looked a little bit high on Mitchell Moses. He's looking towards Ashley Klein, asking why it wasn't a penalty. It was the tackle made by Loiero. Now Zio. Blues all day, says JP Travels. Slow getting back up to his feet. Moving it on. Mitchell Moses goes across to Tedesco. Again, they just couldn't quite get it one more out to Brian To'o, but this is a solid run on the inside from Kohler. And 3 tackles in, and this is a very good position on the field. In fact, with the exception of that try, this is the best position that the Blues have been, and they kick early, and it is intercepted for half a second, but then goes back into the side of the Blues, and Mark Nawanga-Netawasi scores it in the corner to give the Blues a bigger lead. We have you there. How do you deal with your hemorrhoids, brother? Says Wadul. They got creams for everything, don't they? You'll probably be able to find some of that at your local chemist. I don't think either of these sides are sponsored by Chemist Warehouse that I know of, but they'll give you a good deal, I'm sure. We have got there go the Blues, says Olif. And we have got there never seen Queensland so rattled. Now just Class 2 licence, just recently considered it as an option. Says Heptagonal Ghost and listen from Papua New Guinea in there as well. But it was a beautiful wide pass. It was an interesting choice from the Blues initially to go for the kick so early. It was on the third tackle that they went for the grubber, and it was just fortunate that off the Cleary kick, it ended up bouncing out of Munster's hands and straight back to Cleary. So almost like a 1-2 of sorts. And then the wide cut-out pass to Mark Nawanga-Netawasi. And sometimes you just need that bounce of your ball or the bounce of the ball to go your way. I feel like that's exactly what happened there, and New South Wales made the most of it. Marky Mark is a try-scoring machine, says T-Lo. And yeah, he's been a handy player in this first 20 or so minutes. He's had a few handy carries, getting some good meterage. Now scoring to give the lead 10 points to 2. Is this going to be the opposite of what we saw in game number 1? Are we going to see New South Wales have about a 14-point lead and then see Queensland fight back in the second half? And Blues go, says Fedrick, I should say. The celebrations from Marky Mark out wide there. Been a good day to be a back for New South Wales, unless you're Brian To'o, because he just isn't getting the ball. It's on the other side. Joel has said, how was the game? It's been defensive-minded, believe it or not. These two sides have been doing extremely well in terms of defending on their own line, as well as, you know, anything inside of their own half. They're only making about 30 metres each time, both of these teams. But that was, again, the best opportunity for New South Wales to be able to get an attack going. And then from there, being able to find that try. We've got a history of going hard in the first half, then forgetting to turn up the second early days yet. Exactly right. And this year has been the perfect example of how different a second half can look from the first. Nathan Cleary lines it up, slots it over down the middle. And now with 17 minutes remaining in this first half, it will be 10 points turning to 12. The 12-2. Favour of New South Wales. Go Maroons, the ball all the way from Papua New Guinea. Says George. Papua New Guinea, another side in that Rugby League World Cup, right? I know that they limited the amount of teams. South Africa missed out on qualification, losing to the Cook Islands, I believe it was. Like the lead we got, says Capt. And nice one, George, says T-Low. Go Queensland. And there as well. But currently 10 points difference between these two sides, about to be kicked off by Kalen Ponga. I'm just looking around to see who else has been changed for the Queenslanders. Tino Faso Malawi going off with the head knock. I like your quick commentary, brother. Says, well, thank you very much. We are going to be back for match number 3 as well. So anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 100,000 at the moment. Right, we got the update on Tino. Category 2 HIA, so he's got 15 minutes to do the testing. But I don't know if he'll be coming back. He was pretty wobbly when he was trying to get back to his feet. Now away to the left-hand side. This one's opening up now. Nathan Cleary moves it on to Katoni Staggs, but he's knocked the ball on. Massive mistake from the Blues. And it gives Queensland a brilliant opportunity to get an attack going. Who scored? So far in this game, we're seeing Katoni Staggs score early, and also Mark Nawanga-Netawasi was the most recent try scorer in State of Origin Game 2. And up the Blues, and Trust will catch up. Says Irie there. And also got the Maroons. And let's go, says Neon Lights. You see it there, just slipping through the fingertips of Katoni Staggs. I think that was where he probably needed to go on the outside. Of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing. It's easy to say that now that the mistake has been made. My heart says Queensland, but my head says New South Wales. Says Octo Dad. I'm going to mention that stat again. The last 2 years of State of Origin, whoever wins the first game of the series has gone on to lose the whole thing 2-1. So Queensland, in this scenario, they need to find a way of getting this level 1-1 at the end of this match, because if they do, just the last couple of years' history would be on their side in that regard. That's the points for Game 2. Says Anna now moving it on to the right-hand side. Munster. Is it across now? Big tackle on Kalen Ponga. Go New South Wales, says Capewell. They made 19 metres from their set. They have gone with a kick across field. Chance to go up for it. Slap back. It's going to be back in the hands of Mark Nawanga-Netawasi, though. Mentioned about that bounce of the ball, and that one just perfectly pretty much sat to him. Hardly had to move an inch. Nathan Cleary back across short side. Some hard yards being run by Katoni Staggs there. Go New South Wales. A lifetime supporter for the Maroons. Hopefully go for the win. Mighty Maroons. And Die Hard says a positive flower there. Oh, it's a big shot coming in from Collins on Murray. Now Payne Haas again. Trying to get those couple extra metres, but it seems like the tactics from Queensland is to shut that man down as early as possible. Mitchell Moses now sinks a slipper into it for the 5th. Just said there, 65-metre fly kick there. A big shot on Selwyn Cobbo by Cleary too. Are we over there? Go the Maroons, says Nixon. What's your favourite tractor brand, Hamish? That would be a much better question for George. He loves a good tractor. What is George? I can't even think of what. I think they've got, maybe they have Fence. I could be wrong though. They're about 40 metres out from the line now. Queensland, I don't think they need to score before half-time to win this game, but they probably, like, that would help. Oh, big fend there from Tabua Fidel. Going through the gap, couldn't quite link up on the outside. He never really looked to pass there, even though he had a wide-open Selwyn Cobbo with him. Short side now, Ponga goes on the inside. Is this going to be 6 again? No, it is still the last tackle. Queensland moving on, and they score the try. Oh, well, that one will help. Said that they wouldn't need one necessarily before half-time, but it could be a massive bonus. I didn't mean for them to score about 20 seconds later off the line break. I hope the Blues win, but if the Maroons win, then the third game will be fun to watch, says Daliash. And also we're over there more watching from the UK, says Bob Marley. But it was the initial break from Amiso to by Fidel. He never saw that. Oh, no, he looked at him. He just decided not to pass in the end. But in Queensland, it was their last tackle. Passed across. Munster did so well because he was in a two-man tackle and still managed to get the offload away to the side. And who's won, says Kylie? No one as of yet. But the backline movement, nicely done. And then just moving it across. And then Kurt Capewell, the man who does get the finish in the end. Oh, no, sorry. In fact, it was the man off the bench, Trent Loiero, or Lero, who does score. Good morning, mate. Says Fleischer, welcome in. And go Payne Hearts try, please, says Antonio. And g'day, Hamish. Didn't realise you're online tonight, says Studs Race. So, yeah, we have got the State of Origin series that we are going to be covering on the channel. And then I think there are only midweek games that I can think of for a little while. Who scored? It was in the end the number of 17, Trent Loiero, or Loiro. I always say his name wrong. At least I have today. Let's go, says OCE. But that kick has gone over for Queensland, now making the score 12 points to 8. That puts these two sides that little bit closer. It's quite interesting, though, because I think he was only on the field due to another head knock that we saw earlier on, just after Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. Hamish is 1, says Heptagonal Ghost. And go the Maroons, says Fishin. And up the Blues. This is big. Munster is not happy, ladies and gentlemen, but he has to go for an HIA here. It means that Reece Walsh might be making his way onto the field. Loiero, says Vic there for the pronunciation. Oh no, in fact, it's not going to be Reece Walsh. This is intriguing here. So, okay. Because I was about to say, he was involved in the build-up of that try, so you'd think he was fine, but what happened was it was a two-man tackle on him when he offloaded it, and they slammed his head into the ground. So he is jogging down the tunnel here, ladies and gentlemen, Munster, to try and get back out on the field as quickly as he can. And AB's 9's Roygard Ratama Hotham by the skin of his teeth. Says Studs Race. Yes, his head just got absolutely smashed there, Lindsay Collins. That made a crispening kind of like a clap noise. He might need a check too. Now going back across to the right-hand side. In fact, they're talking about Victor Radley here. That was who collided with Collins. He may have almost knocked himself out in the process of trying to do that one. Big shot again. And I hope you can commentate all the Wars games during the quarter semi-finals when they win the championship. I'd love to, but I also don't want to jinx them. But if it works out and we don't think we'll be the jinx of the Wars for their season, that would be quite cool to be able to cover some of their games moving forward. James Tedesco now. Tackle nicely again. Go the boys in blue, says Pierre. And go the Maroons, says Uppy side. Seems like it's pretty 50-50 at the moment in terms of the support for both teams. I do see in the poll as well, 51% have said New South Wales. 44 have said Queensland, so pretty even in that department too. Up to the third tackle here for the Blues. Moving it across to the left-hand side. Starting to open up a little bit more than it was earlier in the game here for these two sides. Ball is dropped. And it's going to be a penalty for a high tackle. And Preston deserves more game time. Yeah, see, I think that Preston, Lennox, and Pledger are all fighting for that bolter role for the next World Cup, depending on what they look at. Because the thing is, the chance of Hotham, Ratama, and Roygard all not being injured come the World Cup is very slim, just based off how many guys are getting injured now throughout Super Rugby. So, yeah, I think that those three are all fighting for that next opportunity. Now the Blues sitting 20 metres out from the line at the moment. They are currently leading by 4, but another try here will give them a substantial lead for now as IEO. Now back across to the left-hand side. Robson looking to attack. Goes off Cleary with the short ball. And come back in the Maroons. Now back across to the right. There are a lot of numbers here for the Blues to be able to move it on. One more out to Magnawanga Nedawase. He's driven over the sideline, though, and a massive shot from the Queensland defender. I think it was Selwyn Cobbo. Okay, they're checking for a knock-on over the try line. I don't even know if that man even got anywhere near putting that ball down after Cobbo lined him up and sent him absolutely flying towards the sideline. Oh, tell you what, he's got way closer to finishing that than he should have for Nwanganetawasi there. I was almost pleasantly surprised that somehow, some way, he almost got that ball down. It looked like he was out by a country mile, but his hand didn't think so. Right, Cameron Munster is classified as Category 2 HIA, which means he will not be able to return for 15 minutes. But Tino has been cleared, and it seems like he is about to come back out. In fact, it's the maximum 15, isn't it? They do the test during that 15-minute period. Lennox and Preston for sure need to see a more pleasure at Super Rugby level. Says Studs race. Yeah, hopefully he can avoid the injury throughout next year and get a little bit of valuable game time. Going off to the right, and oh, that was high. That was very high, and it will be the penalty now. And a little bit of push and shove as well afterwards. This is a little bit more the old school Origin feel. How many people remember a few years ago when Josh Adokar randomly threw a punch in a State of Origin game? What year was that? That was like 2022 or something, wasn't it? Good afternoon, Hamish and Jet. Says, hey, no, welcome in. We have you there, Blues will win. Some Maroons support if yourself to bed right now, says Robin. That is a high shot there from Radley. They're just talking about the fact that Kalen Ponga got a red card in game number 1 for a high shot. Do we see this one go upstairs? Okay, he's on report. That was a big shot. All right, there, Sup Rose says FTU, welcome in. Whoever's not sticking to the script, why is Queensland not up, says Katzenell. That one's gone into touch, 25 metres out from the line now for Queensland. Another chance to get a little bit closer to back into this contest. Radley's had a lot of contact with his head. No wonder he's got the headgear on. His head is getting rocked around all over the place, whether he is making the tackle or running the ball. I'm feeling like you when it comes to the World Cup, but rugby for you. Says, hey, no, they're now moved on nicely. I don't think he meant to do that to Bay Fidel, but it works very nicely into the hands of Cobbo. Back across to the right-hand side again. Sam Walker passes across. Queensland just looking to draw and pass about 3 or 4 times in a row. It's another high shot. It's Radley again. I don't know who's annoyed Radley, but he has done multiple high shots since coming out onto the field. He tried to decapitate Lindsay Collins earlier on. That one he was falling, so you can understand that it's a little bit unfortunate that one's happened. But, yeah, he seems aggressive at the moment, Victor Radley, that is for sure. And Radley just can't not start something since Studs race. And also commentary on points says, Montreal, thank you very much. Currently sitting only about 10 metres out from the line. Tino Far saw Malawi. They thought about going left, but it seemed like the passing option disappeared. Now sitting here, left-hand side. No, this time they'll shift right. Pops it up to Tino. Okay, Tedesco looks injured here in the background for New South Wales. Looks like something to do with... Yeah, he just looks like he's walking in slow motion at the moment, Tedesco. So he is trying not to make any tackles. But of course, when you're the fullback, you're probably going to need to at some stage. Definitely with Queensland on the attack. Ponga moves it on to the right-hand side. Chance here, Toya close to the line. He'll be dragged down just 1 metre short. And Tedesco was involved in that tackle. Still not looking 100%. Moving it on to the left-hand side. Ponga tries to slap it across field. Ball's loose. Grubbing forward. Slapped into touch by New South Wales. They wanted none of that. Smart play from Katoni Staggs. And I think it's going to result in Queensland with the ball. And Tommy settled down. Says Dougie there. Ethan Strange is going to score some points. Says Haino there. Yeah, we saw the grubber attempt by Tobias Fidel and then just getting rid of that ball for Katoni Staggs. And Collar with a great tackle there. Says Studs Razor Maroons are going to win the second game State of Origin, says Lawrence. Currently they're 5 metres out from the line, 10 metres out for the Maroons. Ball on the inside again from Sam Walker. It's across to Cotter. Good to see you've woken up to yourself and have converted to rugby league. Says Aussie guy YT. Now Walker a little bit hesitant in terms of who to go to. 6 minutes remaining in this first half. The sets, the last 4 have been completed by Queensland. Tino Faso Malawi. Oh, they almost missed him. Finished off in the end though. 3 metres short of the line. Trying to get the penalty there, Queensland. Did they receive it? Not in the end. Now grabbed it in behind by Walker. He went early. Did he get the ball down? It looks like there's going to be an injury, though. He looks like he's in a lot of pain at the moment, Toya, but he almost snuck through the middle of a couple of them. Walker going early with the kick. Does he get the grounding, or does To'o get there? To'o just managed to slap it dead. And then Tedesco came in with the knees. Which I think is why we saw Toya stay down for a bit longer. But Walsh on clown says FDU. Wait, what's happened here? What's happened here? So the Blues got a late bunker call that then gave them the ball instead. You've got no time to read the comments because Rugby League is 80 minutes of non-stop action, but I just read that one. We have got the original Blues for life. And also we have got there you go, said the real Ando, but that is a bit of a lifeline here for the New South Wales side. Sitting around the halfway line, 5 minutes and a half remaining of this first 40-minute period. Gets the offload away from Reece Robson. I'm curious to see what happens with Munster here in terms of whether he comes back or whether his night is done. Nathan Cleary goes up high and long again down towards the 10-metre line. Nice take from Selwyn Cobbo, driven backwards by Mark Nawanga-Netawasi. And get Walsh on right now. Now Selwyn Cobbo again hits the ball up for the Queenslanders. Just need a few more metres made each set that they're having, although not a massive amount of time remaining, so a line break might actually be what the doctor ordered. Away to the left-hand side, moves just that little bit closer for Selwyn Cobbo. He's had 2 carries already in this set, and they decide to kick early, looking for the 40-20, but back there covering was Brian To'o. The Maroon says Winnie. But yeah, a very limited amount of ball going To'o's way throughout this contest as of yet. Although when you've had, like I mentioned, the handling error in the last game for Brian To'o, they were coming thick and fast. So he's probably not minding the fact that the ball's avoiding him. His side's leading, so, you know, you sit there happy enough. We have got there, Reece going to give us another Pukana. Says infamous. Now going away to the right-hand side. Cleary moves it on to Tedesco again. To Fido with a good shot on Stags. Now Mark Nawanga-Netawasi has to play as the halfback. Moves it across to the left-hand side. Nicely transferred towards that left-hand side for Kohler. Queensland on top. New South Wales all the way. Says Daja. 42 metres gained. Ooh, looked like maybe slightly offside for one of the New South Wales boys, but it wasn't for James Tedesco. Awkward landing for both men. It seems like maybe Cobbo got the worst of it. They're saying about how it is set up for a second half to remember. Currently completed sets 19 out of their 20 for Queensland. They have been pretty clinical in that department, but they just haven't got the metres gained to back it up. They've had 18 tackle breaks compared to the 8 of New South Wales. 2 line breaks, and this could be another one. Moving it across to Ponga. Now can't quite get it out to the winger. It's happened multiple times here. 5th and final. Walker will go for the kick in behind, just straight down the middle to Mark Nawanga-Netawasi. Right, Munster's sitting on the sideline here. Is he going to be returning, I wonder, or maybe his day is done? He seemed fine when he was going off the field to do the HIA up. The Blues, his guns there. 3 minutes left of the half. Isaiah Yo. Okay, referee was very close to, I think, giving a 6 again. He told Tino to get up. Tedesco had a bit of a handling error, but it goes backwards. So nothing lost as of yet. And New South Wales Now going away to the left. Good post-contact meters there for Hudson Young. Probably made an extra 3 or 4, maybe even more. Now high kick from Cleary again. Gets wrestled down by Grant. Slap back. Uh-oh. It's a mistake made by Queensland. And again, it gives the ball back to the Blues. The loose ball bouncing all over the place. Just seems to be the problem at the moment for Queensland as they move away to the left-hand side, the Blues. 12 metres out from the line. And 6 again, the call. They've got about 4 on the left. Mitchell Moses just couldn't quite pass it away. They're going away to the right-hand side. Nathan Cleary pops it on the inside. Another nice step from Victor Radley. Making the tackle on him. Now back across again. Cleary, Tedesco. Staggs goes one more to mark. Ngawanganetawasi. Even if there's 3 men in front of him, you can sometimes still back him to be able to get over the line. Now Cleary thought about the earlier kick. Isaiah Yeo moves it on to Moses. One more quick hands. Brian To'o trying to find a way through. It looks like there's a bit of an injury to Kohler as well. Offload from To'o close to the sideline, and Queensland drive him into touch with a solid tackle. They're letting Young know about it as well. Let's go Casey the Kiwi McLean. Sadly, one of the guys who got taken out of the side. Unfortunately, he was one of the outs of this State of Origin match, which I was quite surprised with because, to be fair, he actually did really well off the bench in the last matchup. But, yeah, one of the players who unfortunately lost his spot for Origin match 2. Okay, Cameron Munster has passed the HIA. So he's not going to be back for the last 30 seconds of this half, but he will be back for the second 40, which is a massive booster here for the Queenslanders. Score, please, says Lillian. At the moment, the score is sitting 12 points to 8. New South Wales have the 12, and now Queensland looking to make it 12 all. Heading towards half-time, but they've only got one more phase to try and do it. 12 seconds remaining on the clock. I've obviously been talking far too much over the last couple of days. My voice is not liking it. 37 metres gain. Sam Walker kicks this one downfield. Interesting choice there, not to just accept the fact that it was going to be half-time. And it looks like Mark Ngawanganetawasi is going to do just that. Half-time in this contest. 12 points to 8 in favour of New South Wales. McLean got injured. I think he was supposed to be starting this game. Oh, did he actually get injured last match? That makes more sense then, because, yeah, I thought he was going all right in the last contest. And we have got there, not trying to be cocky, eh? Says Charlene there. Is that for New South Wales or for Queensland? Oh, but let's go Queensland. There it is. But, yeah, only 4 points separating them. So this is anyone's game for the taking. Again, we have to reference the first game of the State of Origin series where we did see New South Wales. They were down by, I believe it was either 16 or 14 at halftime, and they went on to win it. This second half, Queensland could do the same as what we saw in game 1. Nathan Cleary, he's done a little bit in this game, but I'll be honest, probably a little bit more quiet than I expected for the first 40 minutes, but I also do think that's because of the defence that we saw from both of these teams. We have their solid half up Queensland. Let's go Blues, bring the win. Says Infamous in there too. And the Maroons, says Lillian, and Alejandro has got the Blue Hearts. But the narrow lead of 4. Anyone's games for the taking in the second half of this State of Origin fixture. Do let me know your in-score predictions for this game, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a side that you think will have full momentum heading into the second 40, or is it still anyone's for the taking? Is sorely missed? Yeah, unfortunately he got hurt. That Chiefs vs Crusaders was good. Game thanks for that, bro, says FTU. No worries at all. And we are here for the Super Rugby final on Saturday. Alongside that, we have got the URC final and also some international friendlies that are taking place too. QB Lad, you are low-key rugby league supporter. You have been grifting all along, says Aussie Guy. Well, fun fact, people can like more than one sport. That's the beauty of, like, I guess, the way that the brain works. I also like cricket, fun fact. And speaking of, while we're at halftime, I might as well see whether or not New Zealand and England has started up. Well, we've got this halftime break. Then we will also have some stats coming as well. Go the Maroons, says Vicky. Oh, okay, so New Zealand are batting, and they are not batting very well by the looks of what's just happened there. I think that someone's just gone out for the Kiwis. We have got there, we need a comeback Queensland. What time is New Zealand? It's a URC final. I heard stupid o'clock Saturday morning. Yeah, it's 6:45 a.m. New Zealand time, so we're going to probably be starting at about 6:15. Who scored for New South Wales? So far for the New South Wales boys, we've seen Katoni Staggs and Mark Nawanga-Netawasi as the 2 try scorers. For the Queenslanders, they have got just the 1 try, and that was Trent Leo. I forgot how to say it. Loiro, I believe. It's Famtino. And 6:45 is easy. We'll see you then. And Bonga's doing, going to do a magic, and the Maroons is up the wires. And go the Blues, here's Ruben. And there as well. How many more minutes left? 40. So we are at halftime. But a second half around the corner. Currently, New South Wales do lead the series 1-0. But they can all change. When is the next stream after this? Probably Saturday morning. Oh, it's AA Sports. Says Sophia there too. And go the Blues. Says Memphis. And also Mighty Blues watching from Papua New Guinea. Says Darren. Did you see the White Ferns catastrophe? I didn't. Someone mentioned about it earlier on, like that they were playing, but I didn't know what game they were actually referring to. How many games in this series? 3. So currently, 1-0 in favour of the Blues means that if they were to win this game, which they currently are, but of course we've still got 40 more minutes, but if they were to win this game, they win the series. And then they still play the third one. It's not one of those ones how they stop playing because one side's won. They'll still have another one. Can you shout me out? Says Kai Monkey there. So shout out to you. We have got there Valinda said the Blues. And come on Queensland says yous and try scorers please Hamish says Gita. So far we have seen Katoni Staggs score for the Blues. We saw Mark Nawanga-Netawasi also scoring for them. And then on the other side, Trent Loiro was the man who scored for Queensland as one of the interchange players. All the games are being played in New South Wales. Not quite. So this one's being played in Melbourne. The third one is going to be a Queensland home game. But yeah, Melbourne's supposed to be like the neutral ground, or at least closer to the neutral ground, if that makes sense. But they're talking about maybe doing one of the games at, I think it was Eden Park next year, which could be quite an awesome one for Kiwis who want to go over and support one of the two sides. But yeah, first match was very close, 20 points for Queensland. They didn't actually score any points throughout the second half, so that will be in the back of their mind. Even though this has been a much better performance in some regards from New South Wales for the first 40, Queensland still need to be able to step it up to that next level throughout the second 40 minutes, or else it's going to be a tough one. White Ferns dropped 66% of their catch chances. That's pretty brutal, isn't it? You probably can't afford, well, even dropping anything more than 20% of your catches, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. We have got the easy comeback. Says Shaylaw there. This ref sucks, says Pixel Gamer. Well, I think he's in charge of all of the games that are coming up. We have got there. Can you shout out my small brother? His name is, I feel like I'm going to mispronounce it. So I'm going to quickly check to see how to say it. I also kind of have to, it sounds bad, but I have to make sure that it's not like a swear word or anything like that, because you get that quite a bit in terms of people trying to make me like say, says it's Japanese. I don't think it would be Japanese though. Is it Afuba? Is that how you'd say it? So shout out to him. Sorry if I mispronounced that one quite badly. We have got there, I know our Kiwi cricket girls, we're going to, sad that we, sad when you can't catch cold in the right environment. What, the chat's going very quickly. What's the score? Currently 12 points to 8, the way that it sits. And that is in favour of New South Wales, going the Mighty Blues. And there as well. And a couple more years, you'll be right, mate. Says Dougie Do Right. And after New Zealanders leave school, how many years of English class do you do? Normally, no, you don't. You just kind of give up on English, to be fair. I think a lot of Kiwis, we start using words that don't sound like words. But also, Kiwis can also be very indecisive, as you know, with yeah, nah being a popular saying. What does that even mean? Does it mean yes? Does it mean no? Does it mean both? Probably. up mighty Maroons, 40-12, the final score. Says Shaq. And also look at the Queensland lineup, bunch of duds. They doing well, says Cyrus. I would definitely say in terms of, I guess, firepower, looking through on paper, they probably are considered as the weaker side, but they're actually not when it comes to some of the stats that we've seen throughout this contest. They've had 19 tackle breaks compared to the 11 of their opposition. We've seen them have a little bit more possession. They've completed more sets, although they've actually made less meters. That's our slangs. Says Infamous there. And also English is overrated to people that can't speak it, says Jason. And exactly excited for the Blues to win, says Carmichael. And how much longer till the second half? I would say we've got about, I'd say 5 minutes or so before we get back underway. And we have got there, take our Grant and Munster, checkmate. Run at them in that Thomas. They will fall apart, and let's go the Blues following the game in Portugal, says Frederick there. I met Richie McGaw. He said, nice to meet you. Or said, nice to meet you. He said, yeah, nah. Watching from Auckland, says Charlene. Shout out Tino's dad, says Kai Monkey. Missed tackles. 19 missed tackles for New South Wales compared to the 12 of Queensland. I won a New South Wales hoodie with that jingle on the radio 17 years ago. Says Shellac Scandals for Go the Blue, the Maroons are going to lose. Please want to watch Game 2 State of Origin games, says Siraj. So your best option in that regard would be either 9 Now in Australia, Sky Sport here in New Zealand, or NRL TV elsewhere. Seems to be the best option. And hi everyone from Finley, New South Wales. And good night, brother, says Leroy. 40 more minutes of fast-paced, hard-hitting action. I don't think, once again, Victor Radley made a tackle that was below the neck throughout that half since making his way onto the field. He seemed like he was getting right into the action. Can you play it rather than talking? Sadly not. Any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike, banned for 3 months, potentially sued for copyright infringement. You can go to prison. You can pay up to, I think it's about $25,000. Now, sadly, I don't really have $25,000 to be just blowing on copyright infringement court cases. We have got there a 9 Now, says Shilor. Hello, people from Papua New Guinea, says G Media. And also, why are you ignoring my tired recycled one-liners? I didn't mean to. I know that I read out your last one and responded, or at least I think I responded to it. That was the one how you said like about how rugby league was the only sport I was allowed to like. We have got there. Stop your bias to the Maroons. Radley is making great tackles. Radley's probably lucky that he hasn't been sin binned yet. He's been put on report for his high shots. But, yeah, he has to be careful because the thing is, right, State of Origin Game 1, Kalen Ponga got a red card. That cost his side the game. If we see a red card for Victor Radley in the second half from doing something that he really shouldn't, it will cost his side the game, and then it will be 1-1 going into the last matchup of the series. And I'm watching you on my TV at the moment. Only way I can get the scores, watching from Sydney. New South Wales as well, says Kelly. Who are you supporting? See, the thing is, I'm pretty neutral when it comes to these two sides. There is a part of me, though, that wants to see it be 1-1 because then the third match just gets that much more juicy and that much more suspenseful and just, you know, it's just going to be really good if that was the case. But if New South Wales played better in the second half, I would not mind one bit because then they would deserve the victory. Writing to any sheep back home, says Dougie Do Right. I don't know whether or not you're aware, but you don't actually have to write to sheep. Normally you got plenty of them in the backyard anyway. So like they're close enough, you just go talk to them. Normally they'll come have a chat. We have their Blues on top, and we have got their Waimini rules, bro. And it was actually Gangster that hit from Ponga, and he gave no Fs. That's what you call full commitment, Billy is the coach. Says Cyrus, the Sporting New South Wales Open Tedesco can score though, says Kelly. And we have got there, seems like you know deep down rugby league is a better game, but refuse to admit it, says Aussie Guy YT. Well, once again, it just comes down to personal preference. Some people love NRL, some people hate NRL. Some people love Super Rugby, some people hate it. Just depends, but you're allowed to like more than one thing. It's like saying to someone you're only allowed to like pizza. And you're only allowed to eat pizza for the rest of your life. You're not allowed chips. You're not allowed burgers. You're not allowed roasts. You can only have pizza. It's the same as sport. Sometimes you want an ice cream. And you can get that from watching a different game. We have the Up the Blues, says the Cousins. And we have the Up the Blues from, it was Jesse Mara as well. I'm with you, bro. Both sides need to win, says FDU. Yeah. Queensland probably need it that little bit more. But New South Wales also will want to break that little bit of a weird trend that's been happening the last couple years. We have you there. I don't want to rub it in, but these steak cut fries I just did in the air fryer top shelf. And where does the Warriors fit into all this? They're in the NRL. This one's State of Origin. So State of Origin's just the Maroons and the Blues. Those two sides get to play each other, and they play in the 3-match series. They'll go back to the NRL next week, and then that is the one where the Warriors are in the equation. Billy loves that stuff. He was the king of sliding his knee into your head, says Cyrus. And like Pete said, ain't all the same. And go the Blues. The only thing rugby union is for is pinching talent, says Aussie guy. And yo me to bring to buy want to try, I think is what that says. And what is the game going right now? So currently it's halftime between these two sides, but New South Wales are leading 12 points to 8 in State of Origin game 2. And go the Blues from Papua New Guinea, and one of the best teams in the NRL. At the moment, right up the top of the bunch, Panthers and the Warriors have been going very well throughout this season. Panthers have got a lot more titles than the Warriors, but anyone who will listen to Waz supporters has been told that this is the Waz year. Now, whether or not that happens, we, of course, have to wait and see, because every year is the Waz year till it's not. But this year so far, they're going pretty good. We are only moments away from the second half of this contest starting up. We have got there, Rugby League will keep on pinching your talent. You cannot stop us, you will not stop us. Says Aussie guy YT, watching from Papua New Guinea, halftime store fighting among supporters, crazy Papua New Guineans. Says Samson. There was a little bit of fighting going on near the end of that half as well between Lindsay Collins and also Radley. The Aussie side's pretty useless. No, they win it a lot more than the Warriors do. Radthorn love both codes, says Gita. And how do I actually watch the game on YouTube? Sadly, it's very hard to find. There'll be the occasional, illegal stream that will pop up, but then the NRL will take that down pretty much straight away. So it's a tricky one, because every once in a while it will stay up for a little bit of time. But once again, if you see any of those streams and they say, hey, click this link, you'll be able to watch the game, just know more than likely if you click that link, your device is getting hacked. And they'll probably try and take all your money. Nawanganita Wasi is the best, but it's sad that he is leaving. He's going to Union, says, I'm going to butcher your name a little bit, Ta'ani Vainalo. If I said that slightly correctly, up the Maroons. And when's the game start again? They are both back out there on the field. So we are probably about 30 seconds away from this contest starting up. Your commentary is better than Channel 9 and Foxtel. And no, come on, Queensland. And keep the faith, H, says the AI underdog pick there. Do let me know, Queensland or New South Wales? Everyone put it in the chat. At this moment, who's going to win this game? Because I don't know, if I'm being honest. My initial prediction, well, I don't think it was a prediction. It was more what I wanted to happen so that we get 1-1 going into the last game as a neutral. But I see Queensland by 8. But for that to happen, they kind of have to do what New South Wales did to them last week. Or last game. They kicked off long by Ponga. And we're back underway. Tedesco taking it. The early stages of the second half. I will mention Munster is back out there now. Luckily for his side, he was able to pass that HIA. And New South Wales by 6, says Bailey. And watching from Guerreiro. Hopefully I've said that correctly. We have there Maroons, you can, says Tracy. Queensland. We're seeing a lot of Queensland. And my guess is New South Wales by 12, says Gita there too. Tino. Trying to drive the head of the Blues player into the turf a little bit more as Io drew him backwards in that tackle by Tino as well. He was busy throughout that first set. Only 11 metres gained by the Blues. They have gone with the big boot downfield, about 10 metres out from the line up the Maroons. Here's Hamish. Says David, and wins game starting. It has just got back underway with 1 minute. Big line break from Selwyn Cobbo. What a run back that is from the number 2. He's probably gained about 35 metres from the first carry of the set. This puts them right back on the front foot. They did have more completed sets in the first half, but they had less metres carried in the end. And out come Maroons, says Tracy. Now back across. Inside ball, Walker goes to Ruben Cotter. Almost a bit of a tip tackle there from Victor Radley. No surprises there. Going back across to the left-hand side. Queensland have numbers. They could move it on slightly, not quite. And New South Wales says Helena in there. Now this one going high. Sitting just outside of the 22. Nicely taken by Mark Nawang in there. Tawasi again. I think I said the 22 there. That's a little bit of rugby union twitch. It was about 5 metres out that they were able to take the ball. Queensland, says Dejean. And go the Blues, says Benny. And there as well, but the Blues are in possession of the ball. Let's go Blues, says Helena there too. Tedesco. Cross to the left. Moves it on to Cameron Murray. They're up to their 4th already here, the Blues. So Queensland defending very handily in the early stages of the second half once more. Now back across. They'll look to sink this one as far downfield as Moses can. They gain 20 metres. Believe it or not, that's more than last time. Now Selwyn Cobb, oh man, did he almost butcher Nathan Cleary there. He has got back up though. I think the chin took the fall. Now it's sitting only a few metres out from the 40-metre line for Tabai feed out. And help count, please, Hamish, up to the second one at the moment for the Queenslanders. Moving across to the right. Another big collision this time with Max Plath, who's made his way off the bench. And up the Blues, here's G Media. And coming the Maroons, here's Scruff Boy now going to the right. Short pass to Nakora. A few early carries in that first half for him. Then we didn't see too much for the rest of it. That one's going to be kicked high again. Well, I might have a bit of distance on it. Comes down 3 metres out from the line. 47 metres gained that time. Brian To'o. Let's get a carry. Didn't have a lot of the ball in the first half either. I'm a New South Wales supporter always, bro. Would be nice to have a decider, says Faith Builder. Yeah, I think a lot of people are hoping to see it go to that deciding matchup. Just because, like, the last couple years, we have had the decider. And we need one more for New South Wales, so we get the better lead, says Kelly. Now Tedesco. Tackled by Tino Fa'asua Malawi. 12 metres gained. This is getting worse for the Blues. They have made at the maximum. Oh no, but the loose ball picked up by Brian To'o. That was, again, the bounce of a rugby ball that has just worked in the Blues' favour. Young tackle 40 metres out from the Queensland 9. It was a charge down. Good pace shown up the middle. Cotter has to make the low one. Munster says Obi. Now back across Robson. Cleary and behind to Radley. And come on, Queensland, says Kalakaro. Yeah, they made, 15 metres or so. And then going for the kick downfield that gets charged down, that then bounces back to them, and then they get the line break, although they've dropped that one. And it will be Queensland's ball now, 10 metres out from their line. Again, ball on live. Sadly, any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off YouTube. But the highlights will be up on the channel, not our channel, but the NRL channel, normally within about an hour after the match, which is quite nice. And Arbro Queensland is cooked, says Poonam there. Well, that's the third time that I can think of, off the top of my head. 8 errors, of course, for New South Wales doesn't help, 6 for Queensland, but the third time that I can think of that the ball has just perfectly set up for New South Wales off some sort of either deflection or bounce. And sometimes you need a day like that. Queensland doesn't seem like they're getting too much in terms of that bounce of the ball, but they've still got some pretty handy defence near the start of this half. Only 5 minutes have already passed. And the second half up to the 4th tackle here for Queensland, sitting 35 metres out from their own line. Now Cotter. Out to Walker, Ponga, he's got 2 men with him and they decide to quickly move it onwards to the right-hand side, dragged down 40 metres out from the line now. We need to cook, brother. Says Bunam there. Now going for the kick high again is Walker. And getting up for it, manages to pass it away to the side. This is open space. They've gone for the cross kick, Queensland, and they run in the try. They get the first of the second half. It is Selwyn Cobbo who scores it. And now we're sitting 12-12 between these two sides with 33 to go. That is the start to the half that Queensland needed to get that early try, to find the opportunity. And this time it was the work under the high ball to be able to retain possession. They were still on the final tackle, but it just opened up on the outside. It was the chase from Rob Toya, who managed to push it back, and then from there, a nice delayed pass from Max Plath, and then the cross kick to get it out wide quick enough to be able to finish it off. But it was the Munster cross kick. At the end of the first half, he was off the field getting HIA assessed, but he's come back out in the second half, and he's been able to have an instant impact. How did New South Wales fall asleep, says Gito? I think they just got caught out with a bit of a counter-attack and a win under the high ball for Queensland. Queensland baby, says Tory. And go the Maroons, says Lillian there, and Heptagonal was going for the Maroons too, and called it, says Obi. He did say Munster, and he now has himself the try assist here. And Blues are getting to a bad point, but up the Blues, says aha. I imagine that's how you pronounce that name, or like the username on YouTube. And how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? From Jason, we have got there was that Fledger of the offload in the middle. I think it was Max Plath. I could be wrong though, but I thought I saw a 14 on his back. Just seemed like he lured in 2 men and then just flicked it out the back door. Now a kick that is absolutely crucial here. If it goes over, they take the lead. He's 6 from 6 in Origin. He's 7 from 7 in Origin. And Queensland, for the first time since the early stages of the game when they were 2-0 up, well, they take the lead now in game number 2. I was about to leave. Then we had a try, says Charlene. And go the Maroons. Make the third a good spectacle, says Mokotoa. Selwyn Cobbo scores here. I think we only have one forward who has scored in this game. Every other try has been from the backs. And up the Blues is Kiwa. It's going to be now kicked off by New South Wales. We're back underway. There's still 32 minutes to go as well. Nice take from Munster. Passes off to Tino Faso Malawi. But that was actually, I also want to give some credit to the way that the Maroons defended, because that was forcing the pressure onto Queensland. Onto New South Wales. They just weren't making meters with their carries. That was almost offside from New South Wales there too. And they got Maroons make some changes. Yeah, well, that's another thing. New South Wales, they went pretty similar in terms of their overall lineup. I think Queensland made New South Wales made about 6 changes. Queensland made maybe 4. They haven't changed too much in that starting lineup, and maybe it's starting to get a little bit more consistent. Oh, that was high on Tedesco, or at least it looked that way from Munster. We have got there. Walsh will knock it on. Says Obi. Okay, Isaiah makes his way off. Payne Haas back on. He will be fresh and raring to go here to make some meters. The Blues currently have got the ball in hand, 40 meters out from their own line. Payne Haas here, first carry for him. It's almost up to the halfway line. That is up to the 4th tackle, and they do need some players to start making those meters. If you're the Blues, Tedesco offloads it back now, moving it on. Cross to Robson. A little bit high on Staggs. By his opposite number to Bay Fidel. Now they're 5th, 40, or no, in fact that time 60 meters going. Cleary with a good bit of pace shown initially. Nice dodge there from Ponga. He hurdles over the player who was grounded, and New South Wales aren't going to win. Says Jovi there. And disgusting betting from New Zealand, says, yeah, I'm probably going to watch the first session after this, but I did see they were 14 for 1. And why is Walsh not on? It's actually a good question. They have waited a relatively long time to put him out there. Oh, Ponga just slipping over. It's quite dewy underfoot at the moment at the MCG. Making it difficult for both sides to be able to get that grab. Oh, another charge down. This time, though, it bounces back into the hands of Queensland. I don't think Walker meant to do it, but it's worked out for them as they now have a full set to be able to try and make those meters again. Back across to the right. A run forward from Lindsay Collins. He is, of course, never going to slow down. When he looks towards that opposition, he just runs it dead straight and as hard as he can. Munster now, but isolated, tackled by Payne Haas. I think the curse is going to be for another year, says Charlene. Yeah, we mentioned it. The side that wins the first match the last 2 years has then lost the series. Are we going to see some sort of weird curse repeat here? Now Munster, another cross kick, space here, Tor! All the pressure on him, but he's managed to survive, and I think first ones of New South Wales, so it means that Queensland get another attack going. Latham is out. Conway, I think, was the man who went out to Matthew Fisher, I think was the bowler. Why is there no video? Because it would be illegal. Any match footage or audio would get us taken straight off YouTube. But we are allowed to do the play-by-play, and there are other ways of watching it for free as well. 9 Now in Australia. There is NRL TV in different locations other than Australia and New Zealand. Sadly, we don't have it free in New Zealand. It's on Sky Sport 2. This is a big moment now for the Maroons. They are straight out in front of the goalpost, 10 metres out from the line. We're seeing 9 handling errors from New South Wales. This is sounding similar to what we saw in the first half in the last game, but now Ponga, he delays his pass to Cobbo, who scores again. They're on fire at the moment, the Maroons, at the start of the second half. And just like the last game, we see the side who was leading at halftime start not so great in the second 40. Are you happy with that? They always got global recognition. They drew against Iran in the World Cup. It was good to see them draw because they still seem to have that record of they haven't lost a game at the World Cup, right? They've just drawn them. Or at least in the recent ones anyway. But that was a nice backline move. Cobbo just finishing it off, going over the top of Mark Ngawanganetawasi. It was important that Ponga didn't pass that one too early. Listen from the UK and just enjoying the game. Says Julie there, and it is greatly appreciated you guys all popping in. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer. We're actually only 130 away from the 81,000. So anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that button. Let's see if we can get there by the end of this match. But the double now for Selwyn Cobbo. You can see the celebrations from Kalen Ponga as well. I'm in Australia and can't afford to watch it. It's on 9 Now, which is free to air in Australia, Power Send. I think if you've got the 9 Now app, I want to say is how you watch it on there. Please announce the score, says Samson. So at the moment, the score is sitting 18 points to 12. There's a kick to come. It's a good backline move, though. They're just saying about Sam Walker. They were saying there were questions about him in this State of Origin side. Well, he has certainly stepped up in both of the games that we've seen thus far. And this is an important kick. He is 7 from 7 off the tee. Can he make it 8 from 8? This is a hard angle to be able to work with. He's been striking them cleanly. Stephen Crichton and Casey, do your thing. Says Cyrus. Yeah, although they got rid of Crichton. And they got rid of Casey, actually, too. Both men were dropped from the side for either injury or other reasons. And nice Maroons. Yes, go Maroons, says Tracy. But this kick, just taking his time at the moment. I can't really watch it whilst I'm fighting Battle on Chivalry 2, says Power Send. Yeah, it sounds like it would be quite difficult multitasking, to be fair. Oh, straight down the middle again from Walker. And now the 8-point lead here for Queensland, 20 points to 12. Lolly legs. What does lolly legs mean? What's the score? It is 20 points to 12 in favour of Queensland. Come on, I'm sick of this stuff. Brian knocked it back. Says Ricky there. And Oz Maroons starts with him. Says Tamara. And can you please announce the score? The score is 20 points to 12. At the moment, Selwyn Cobbo has scored the last 2 tries. How do I watch for free in New Zealand if not on Sky Go? Sadly, we don't have a free option here in New Zealand. In Australia, it's on 9 now, so if you've got a VPN, you can actually set yourself to Australia and do it that way. Now the ball in the hands of Queensland. They are 10 metres out from their own line. And Blues coach wants us to lose. We need Strange. Says, aha. Now off to the right. Not making a huge amount of metres at the moment here for the Maroons, but they've got control of this game. They just need to make sure that they don't allow New South Wales to get back into it. This game was considered completely 50-50 in terms of the odds heading into it. Now we got a game, says Adam. Yeah, it's heated up big time. Still another 25 remaining. Now kicking this one downfield for Queensland after making 29 metres off their set. Taken at the back from James Tedesco. He had some big moments in the second half of the last State of Origin contest. And this is the type of game that now he needs to be able to hit it up again. Just realised this game's at the MCG. Shane Warne Stan says, Studs Race. Yeah, it is a packed MCG for this contest as well. Tedesco crawling, trying to get those few extra metres that he can. Because at this stage, every metre is vital for this Blues side. Big run. Currently sitting almost on the halfway line. Little bit of a shuffle forward. Oh, here they're the Maroons. Says J-Mac. That one's high. And nice take there, 20 metres from his line. Selwyn Cobbo, he'd love a hat-trick in this contest. And to be fair, if he is the next man to score, I think that almost should secure it for Queensland. Nothing confirmed though, of course, because it can all change in an instant, but would certainly put them a long way towards getting the victory here. Ball still on the side of the Maroons. 3 tackles in. Sitting about 40 metres out from their line. We've gone back into almost defensive mode for both of these teams. It seems like everyone's just pretty compact in the middle of the field, not going for any risky passes. That's a good run, though. Straight through the gap for Harry Grant. Passes out to Kalen Ponga. And that was a very crucial tackle by James Tedesco. Went his full time at about 25 minutes time. 66 metres gain. 5th and final for Queensland. Cross kick from Munster again. Todd doesn't win the aerial challenge. And it's another one. Jojo Fafita scores it for Queensland, who are absolutely running rampant in the second half here. And now they lead by 12 with a kick to come. Munster has found some magic. And he has been tearing it up since making his way back on from his HIA. There you go, Queensland, says Tony there. But it was the run initially from Harry Grant. Just seemed like a simple, almost pick and go next to the breakdown, or next to the tackle. And just Brian, one-on-one, he was reversing, whereas on the other side of the equation, Fafita was flying forward and managed to get through the air and finish that one off. TV Go, please, says JB's. For us here in New Zealand, it's on Sky Sport 2. And Australia, it's on 9 now. It's the option for being able to watch. And if you're Queensland, you go to the Maroons. Support from Papua New Guinea, says Chris. And I knew they're going to come back, says Charlene. But yeah, just the directional change for To'o. He just didn't really get up. And really want this game to be close, please. Says Studs Race. And watching from 9491 Beach. And go the Maroons. Says Carlu there. But this game now, there is a chance. It is a relatively big one that Queensland run away with this game now. I don't know if anyone remembers my score prediction near the start of the game. I said Queensland by 8, but that was more what I wanted so that we had the 1-1. But the other prediction that I did give, I said that if either of the sides were to run away with it, we could be looking at about a 30-12. At the moment, we might be looking at said 30-12 here. Go Queensland. And 20 will be close. Says the AI. And there as well, and I blame Rico. And come on, Reece Walsh, one for Papua New Guinea supporter. The Maroons, says Dave. But now he is still sitting 100% accuracy off the kicking tee here. Can Sam Walker make it 9 from 9? He's just getting absolutely everything over. Cool, calm, and collected, making the score 26-12 in favour of Queensland now. The job is not done because they have had a similar lead to this only 3 weeks ago and they went on to lose. Although the benefit that they currently have is there's no Ponga red card, but they just need everyone to stay out there on the field for the remaining 22 minutes. Time left, 22 and a half minutes remain. Maroons supporter from Papua New Guinea. Oh, what's the Blues backline got up their sleeve, says Adam. Well, at the moment, they need some ball and they need to make some meters. And it seems like at the moment, neither of those two, oh, that's high, but they've dropped the ball, Queensland. And it's a knock on there. So the Blues will have the opportunity 10 metres out from the opposition line. I always bet on Hamish's predictions at starts race, although I think this one's going to be captain's challenge. They're checking this one. They're thinking it's a shoulder charge maybe, and that is what they're hoping for the Maroons. They are going to use up their challenge if this one is incorrect. You got the Maroons all the way from Papua New Guinea. And right. Oh, okay, this is an interesting one. So the commentators were saying that was a shoulder charge, but then at the same time, he's pretty much said that he couldn't wrap his arm because of his teammate being in the way, which I don't think that's necessarily correct. What is the score? 26-12 at the moment in favour of Queensland. But I think that's the wrong arm. I think they were looking at the inside arm rather than the outside. Munster can't quite believe it, but it is going to be the knock on here. Yeah, they've said Robson couldn't wrap his arm because of his teammate being there. Who was sent off? No one. It's going to be the only thing that's been taken off is the opportunity for the challenge to be used by Queensland in the later stages. Now going away to the right-hand side here. New South Wales have the ball 10 metres out from the line and a big chance to be able to fire back, and they certainly do need it. Going off to the left-hand side. This is a second tackle here. 6 again would be absolutely brutal for the Maroons defenders, although they have been defending very nicely throughout this game as IAO makes it within 3 metres of the line, and the penalty awarded too for the high shot. And a little bit of afters there. Ashley Klein saying that it was for the high shot and then also the rub in his face in the ground. And underdog Bowden Barrett should have, out of international rugby. Now Payne Haas. Oh, but third try from the Maroons. Third try for the Maroons would have been Selwyn Cobbo. Now moving across, Cleary moves it on to the left. Little shuffle step there, although no, that might be an injury. I don't think there was a shuffle step on purpose. I think his knee was starting to give way a little bit. Oh no, he's all right. Okay, it was a shuffle step and it was a weird time to do it. Morning from Papua New Guinea as well, from Moti there. Now moving away, Cleary passes across left. You're up to the fourth tackle. It's good defence again from the Maroons. Just not quite letting them through. Pick and go from Robson. Moving it across to the right-hand side. Tedesco with a skip pass. Now into the hands of the winger, Mark Nawanga-Netawasi. All the players in the world around him. And he shuffles and he gets through and scores it for the Blues. What's happened there defensively for the Queenslanders? There were 3 men in front of him. He did a little I'm going to go. And then they all went, wait. And then he went round them. It was a stutter step from hell for Mark Nawanga-Netawasi here. And the Queenslanders, we're going to say, it looked like he was covered for all money. And he just turned Selwyn Cobbo's ankles inside out. He just gets stopped in his tracks. Oh, Actually, I think he may have gotten caught on the breakdown, or not the breakdown, but the player who was grounded off the previous tackle. I think his foot got stuck. We're going to see it now. Hang on. That angle doesn't look good. Katoni Staggs actually grabs the ankle of Selwyn Cobbo, which is why he wasn't able to get across. Of course, no more captain's challenge. It was subtle, and it's something that we only saw from one angle. But I wonder if they'll check this one. I don't think they're going to. But a cheeky play from Katoni Staggs grabbed the ankle of Cobbo to slow him down. And because of it, it leads to the try. And Blues will try yet, says Bennon. Now Nathan Cleary, he has got that one over as well. Making the score 26 points to 18. And go the Maroons, says Ruben. Currently Queensland by 8's not looking too bad currently, but I think this game's still got a lot of twists and turns before the end of it. We've still got another quarter remaining. Anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button as we are going to be back for Game 3, just taking place in 3 weeks' time on the Wednesday as well. So I believe it's about the 8th of July. Going to be covering it on this channel as well as the Rugby League World Cup. So if you want to, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 81,000. We're only 50 away from hitting that mark. It's kicked off now long by the Maroons. Take there from the Blues, who just scored that time. It was Mark Ngawanganetawasi, who has now got himself 2 tries as well. Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. This game is fixed as the comment there. I actually thought they would have had another look at that with the bunker, to be fair, but I guess because Queensland used up their review, or their captain's challenge, maybe they just decided to leave that one. But I don't, there was definitely more grabbing of the ankle than it first looked, because it just looked strange the way that Cobbo stopped running. And give us a shot. Oh, the mascots. Kanan Roach says just a game. Now back into the pocket. And kick downfield from Cleary. Running on to this one. Had to cover quite a bit of ground there. Kalen Ponga sitting 40 metres out from his own team's line. Cobbo's ankles inside out, says one to there. And current score, please. Current score is 26-18 with 18 minutes remaining on the clock. And the Queenslanders have got themselves the ball sitting on the halfway line. Time was set up by Jojo Fafita. He did score the most recent try for Queensland. And you can know it, says ball. And also go the mighty Maroons, says Margaret, going away to the left-hand side. Great quick hands. Oh, my goodness. Kalen Ponga might be knocked out, but Selwyn Cobbo might get a hat-trick. He grubbers on the inside to play Fidel, finishes it off. Queensland score again. There's a bit of push and shove and back play from the cheap shot on Kalen Ponga. Someone might be going to the bin, but either way, I believe Queensland have just added 4 more points. Right. So the Queensland try. Did the commentator just say it's going to be a Queensland victory? There's still 18 minutes remaining. He's getting a little bit, he's jumping the gun. That was a bad shot though there on Kalen Ponga. I talked about how both of these sides need to avoid a red card. Well, that one's certainly looking like a potential yellow. It was a late shot. He could have pulled out of that, Katoni Staggs. That's 2 things that he's done in quick succession. As well, that last one, he was the player who grabbed the ankle of the defender of Queensland, and now he's gone out and decided he's going to try and decapitate Kalen Ponga while he's at it. And did Amiso score? Yes. I think it's all been cleared as a try. Right. They have to decide whether or not there was direct contact to the head here, and if there was, then this could end up being a yellow, if not more. It's the type of time now where this big moment could be game-changing. And we have got there, can you put it on the screen? Sadly not. Any match footage or audio would get us taken straight off YouTube. Dougie has ruled that one as just a kiss to Kalen Ponga. And reckon he jumps, says Thuds Rays. Right, it looks like Reece Walsh is very close to making his way onto the field here. He's got the headgear on at the moment, so he is hearing what the tactics are going to be. And the Maroons go. Right, what is the verdict going to be there? Okay, he's on report and he's going to the bin for 10 minutes. Katoni Staggs just had an absolute brain fade. And his side are down by 12. The man with a kick to come in Walker, who hasn't missed since getting the Origin debut in the last contest. Reece Walsh, he has got his bib on. He is ready to go for a bit of a jog around, getting warmed up here. The final moments of the game. Antoinette has said, go the Maroons. And Blues, what's up, says Stella, and also we got all the best Blues and the Maroons. Yeah, well, it's happening again. I mentioned about it last year and the year prior. The sides that got the first one, in terms of the series, the win, they then go on to lose the series. This might be the same as the last 2 seasons. And go the Maroons, says Jay there, good game. But yeah, it's a pretty brutal shot from Katoni Staggs. I think all that's happened there is he's been, I would say, he's just been about a metre or two too slow. And he's gone through there and gone, oh, well, I'm here now. I might as well try and take his head off. We have the Oihau half-time. So we are currently sitting with only the 16 minutes remaining on the clock now. So we are close to the end of this game, but still plenty of time remaining. Walker does get the kick over again. Why wouldn't he? Still 100% for Origin. And now the way that it sits, 32-18, a 14-point lead to the Queenslanders, who were down by 4 at halftime. Looks like a change is about to be made as well. Strange is about to make his way on for the Blues. And where the hell is Laurie Daly going to put Strange into the game? Or when is he going to? Right now. But it seems very late. Definitely because of the fact that they're currently down by 14. This game's rigged, says Adam. And also New South Wales done a home care service. And what's good, says FW. That one's an interesting kick. What's just happened here? What's James Tedesco? They've tried to kick this one off the Blues. And he's kicked that ball straight sideways. It was one of the strangest kicks I've ever seen. He started on Queensland's side to then cut round and kick it towards the sideline. What's he doing there? And stand up now and face the sun. Well, it's currently almost midnight here, so there's not much sun around at the moment, sadly. And we have there the team list. Looks better than the team. Says Adam, and now Queensland on the attack again, ladies and gentlemen. Come back across to the right. Oh, beautiful sell the dummy. Pops it on the inside. Lindsay Collins scores. And Queensland now are well and truly in the box seat. The man advantage too. I don't think that was why there was a gap though. I think it's just down to that perfect piercing run next to the side of the ruck. And we have got there, who let Teddy kick? I have no idea, but they won't be doing that again. And just give the shield, save the arse, says the AI. And Kitchen only says Doogie. And also Riggs says Adam. I'm just going to quickly go like this. Wait, that's the wrong one. Is it the wrong one? Where was the one? No, it must have been this one. It was the opposite though. How Queensland 38-10 up against New South Wales. New South Wales then won 38-18. That's the scoreline we're going to be looking at now, ladies and gentlemen. Except in reverse of what it was in 2024. Because, let's be honest, Walker should be able to get this one over because everything's going over. We have you there. We in New South Wales. We can't see you. Please stand up. Let us hear you, says Raylene. Grant is a human can opener. Yeah, he's cutting through everyone at the moment. It was a perfect ball to Lindsay Collins too. All the momentum going forward. It's supporting Maroons from Papua New Guinea, says Yvonne. But yeah, 2 games now where the team leading at halftime has gone on to lose. And I know that it's a little bit premature to say that New South Wales are going to lose this game, but 13 and a half minutes with a man down and backwards kicking off the kickoff is definitely not going to help them out. Looks like Sam Walker's getting a little bit of attention to the back of the leg here. Bit of hamstring rubbing down. And they were so rowdy the first game, says Irie. And also Maroons, come on, you beauty. And this is Rigg, says Haley. And also Woo, says Heptagonal Ghost. As well, but Lindsay Collins celebrating that one big time. The MCG crowd, which is absolutely packed once again by the looks of it. And Billy Slater, he's loving that one too. And that one's gone over. 38 points to 18. Whoever there, let's go the Maroons, says Steffi. And not going to lie, I back whoever wins, says the AI underdog. Play of the balls inside of the opposition 20. 23 for Queensland, 17 for New South Wales. There are not many stats that we are actually seeing the Blues winning for the second half. James Tedesco, okay, he's going to try it again. This time, he's got that one. At least it's gone the 10 metres. They almost retained that ball this time for the Blues. So I guess that tactic this time almost worked. But he just needed a practice run. The Maroons baby, says Stella. And as IO is actually on the field, I hadn't noticed him. Did he make his way back on? I know that he went off before for Payne Haas. Oh, no, there he is there. Yeah, he just dealt with that tackle. Now wait to the left. Tries in the second half. 5 for Queensland, 1 for New South Wales. And the second half meters gained. 570 for Queensland, 338 for the Blues. That ball ripped away. And it's going to be a penalty awarded to Queensland. Oh, hang on. Ashley Klein just getting in there, trying to calm things down. There's a lot of frustration out there on the park at the moment. I love the smell of victory. Let's go the Maroons. Says Roy Men. Yeah, at the moment it's looking like we're going 1-1 into the next match. The next game taking place in 3 weeks' time, ladies and gentlemen. That one is on the 8th of July. We are going to be covering it on the channel too, alongside the Rugby League World Cup. So anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're currently 20 away from the 81,000 mark. So let's see if we can get there before the Queenslanders score again. Because it just seems like a matter of time at the moment. The fact that they've scored 5 times in the second half. Now Ruben Cotter. Just under the 12 minutes. Is Walsh playing? He is, but he hasn't come on yet, I don't think. Oh, now backline movement again here for the Queenslanders. Cutting back inwards was Rob Toyer. And back across left. Walker. Moves it on. It just looks really crisp at the moment from Queensland. Every pass is going to someone. Selwyn Cobbo across to Ponga again. Now Max Plath, he was half by involved in a try. It actually started off the big momentum. What's the score for this game? 38-18 at the moment in favour of Queensland. Now Munster pops it on the inside. Another little pop pass. Walker going for the grubber. Mark the Wanganita Wasi has to deal with it. In fact, Tedesco manages to get back there. Sam Walker's causing all sorts of headaches at the moment. And we have got everyone going to sleep for work, says the underdog, and the Maroons try scorer. So far, we've seen Selwyn Cobbo got 2. We've seen Tabay Fidel scored the most recent one. We've seen Jojo Fafita score, and then also it was Trent Luairo in the first half. He scored the first try of the match for the Queenslanders. Now, Tino for Asul Malawi. 3-man tackle involving Payne Haas and Ethan Strange, who's just recently made his way onto the field. There's a drop ball there, although it's not ruled as a knock-on. They might have just hit him in the chest. Tino dragged down 3 metres short. Back across again for the Queenslanders. Ponga with some fancy footwork. Couldn't quite pierce that last line of defence. 5th and final. Now Grant goes across to Walker. Passes it on. Almost obstruction there. And it looks like they'll just accept. Oh no, this is now the last tackle. I think they may have done that one a little bit too early. Now getting close. Looking for the offload. Jumped on. Who's got the ball? It's Harry Grant. And it's 6 again. So Grant's ended up with the ball. Queensland have got a chance here. 10 metres out. Walker delays his pass. Gets that little bit closer. The referee signalling for 6 again. I don't think there's a way that the Blues don't score. Don't concede unless there's like a handling error or something that stops the Maroons. The Maroons aren't just looking to win this game, they're looking to dominate it for the second 40. Munster just doing a little bit of side shuffling and skipping. Yep, dragged down by Robson. And they get the offside penalty there again, Queensland. That restarts the timer or restarts the set. Now 1 metre short for Plath. Grant's looking both ways. It wouldn't surprise me if he has a bit of a Pearson run again at some point. Nice hands from Ponga. Out to Selwyn Cobbo. His knee may have been in touch, but they'll check it anyway. And they just want to make sure that he's got that one down legally. And we have there the Maroons. And also score please at the moment, 38-18, but soon could be 40 as long as this knee of Cobbo is not down. I tell you what, he's managed to, has it slipped out of his hand though? Selwyn Cobbo in the last moment. How are they getting these sixes again? I'm kind of a newbie, so 4 for the try, 2 for the conversion. I think he somehow almost got this, Selwyn Cobbo, if they consider it as control with the ball in hand. It's good Maroons win the second, so the third game will be interesting. Absolutely, it's going to be definitely must see. Okay, they just want to see another wrangle for the grounding. How many minutes left of the game? There is still another 8.5 minutes left. Checking it. He's got the grounding. And Selwyn Cobbo has got the hat-trick here for the Queenslanders. And go Tino, says Harry Schneider. We are 7 short of the 81,000. They actually got to the try a lot quicker than they were supposed to. Field called no try, says just bone on, although now they've gone in. They've looked at it with the bunker and they have ruled it as the try for Selwyn Cobbo with the hat-trick in Game 2 of Origin. And Maroons baby says Maria. And also nice one, Maroons says no. The score's getting worse and worse though for the New South Wales boys. Damn absolute hiding. They were down by 4 at half time. That's the crazy thing about it. Easy Leesborough, says Harry there. Bedtime for the Blues. Yeah, there's no coming back from this scoreline at the moment. That is 100%. The kick now for Walker. Still 100% for his Origin career. It is only his second game. I wonder what the record is for most kicks in a row. It's just straight down the middle again. He just doesn't miss. But yeah, I wonder what the record is for making your debut in the most kicks in a row for an Origin player. Because Sam Walker's got to be getting up there. He's sitting about 11 from 11 at the moment. And WDF is going on. New South Wales says sock. And when is the game finished? In about probably 10 minutes time or so. There's 7 minutes remaining on the clock, but there'll be a couple stoppages along the way. I know when they were on the 6th tackle, they were given 6 more. Okay, so that's pretty much when the player gets held down by the opposition. And the referee rules it as they're kind of trying to slow it down. Normally is the way that the 6 again works. All kicked off low and long from Nathan Cleary. Okay, they've just said there about that they've only scored 1 try here, the Blues, through an actual set play or ball movement. The rest have been those deflections and whatnot that we mentioned about earlier on. Tino Fa'asumalawi. He's had a big game for the Queenslanders. He did go off earlier on for an HIA, but managed to make his way back out there. And big difference is Duke and good one, Maroons. Cheers, says Fleshin in there as well. Was Nakora again, 5th and final, so they will boot this one downfield after making 51 metres. What's the score? 44-18 in favour of Queensland at the moment. Mark Nawanganetawasi. Who do you give man of the match to? Do you give it to Cobbo or do you give it to Cameron Munster? Because don't get me wrong, Cobbo's done well to finish 3, but Munster's been involved in a majority of those ones. You've also got Sam Walker in the conversation, I would think, or Harry Grant. In fact, that's going to be the question, ladies and gents. Who would you give man of the match to in this scenario? Because there's probably a good 4 or 5 who deserve it. They haven't been quiet by Walker's rampage. Says Elvis. And go the Maroons, says Yvonne there. Give it to Walsh, says AI. That one's going to be kicked downfield from the Blues again. After only making the 25 metres. That has been hurting them big time. Let them decide it, says Trevor. And all of them. Sam Walker, says Shaq. Man of the match, Ashley Klein. And now 35 metres out. Oh. They're maybe going to say the crowd. I think they said 91,000. Biggest ever Origin crowd. Tell you what, they'll want to go back to Melbourne with a crowd like 91,000. Queensland will want to go back as well. Nice stepping from Munster. Tackle by Haas. 5 minutes left on the clock, and that is now the fifth tackle again. 50 metres gain. This one's high from Walker. It's going to be challenging, but Tedesco does brilliantly under the high ball. Much love, Queensland. And we've also got there Munster or Grant for the man of the match, says Royman. See, it's a good day, isn't it? When you're a side and you have multiple guys that you can give man of the match to. You know, this has not just been a one situation where one player's stood up more than the rest. This has been a real team effort from Queensland, especially in the second 40 minutes. Nathan Cleary tackled low by Fidel. Oh, not the best pass to Isaiah Yeo. Has to go down on his knees to clean that one up. I just call it already. Queensland already won. Nice Maroons. And man of the match, Sam Walker, says Barry. Oh, it's wide open. What happened there? He actually managed to win the foot race, one of the Queenslanders. One of the New South Wales boys. And again, the deflection off a kick has gone back to New South Wales. That is now the third time in this match that has happened. How it has reset their tackle count due to tapping into a Queensland player. We have there selling Cobbo. Watching from Bogain Villia. Hopefully I've said that correctly, but welcome in, Lucas. And Blues go sleep, says Yvonne. Oh, that's another 6 again, although it's not going to matter too much in terms of the overall score for this contest. 3 minutes remaining, though, and it would be nice to see the Blues be able to cross the line one more time before the end of the game. As IAO will be 1 metre short. I think that's going to be 6 again there with our long Ponga took on. Oh, in fact, they're going to just say play on, try to reach out. Couldn't quite get there to the try line, half an inch short. Now moving it across between the posts, they'll go. Mitchell Barnett scores. It's not going to change the result of this game, but it gives them something for the second half. I don't know much. Wait, where'd that go? I don't know you so much about it to me, but I followed you. Says Akilo, it is greatly appreciated. Of course, we are going to be back in 3 weeks' time for the next contest that has taken place between these two sides. It will be the decider as well. So that is certainly something to get fired up about. Also got that Rugby League World Cup around the corner too. So anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've just ticked over that 81,000 mark. On the road to the 100,000. We cover the Super Rugby Grand Final this weekend. We certainly will. We've also got the URC Final as well as Barbarians versus Springboks. And hopefully South Africa A versus Zimbabwe if it's shown here in New Zealand. One has gone over from Cleary. Now makes the score 44-24. She's a high scorer in second game of the State of Origin series, that's for sure. Whereas game 3 being played. 1 second. We'll go like this. And like this. It is going to be a home game for Queensland, though. I think it would be at Suncorp. Suncorp Stadium. It's where it's going to be happening. You got my name correct? Sometimes I do butcher a few names, so I'm glad I got that one right. Who's your pick, Chiefs or the Canes? It's a hard one. I haven't actually looked through at the lineups too closely yet. I'll be able to sleep soundly tonight, says Charlene. Now running it forward again was the try scorer, Mitchell Barnett. 2.5 minutes left on the clock now. Brian To'o, where's that man been? Throughout, I was going to say the second half, but almost this whole game. Hasn't hit the ball much at all. Let's go Maroons, says Dan. Now short ball. Off to Barnett, right-hand side, moving it on nicely. Mark Nwanganetawasi waiting for it on the outside, but the ball goes back in to the halfway line for Dylan Lucas. Go the Maroons, says Albert. The Maroons is too good, says Vanessa, and they'll certainly be the side with momentum heading forward. The knock-on from Cleary. An open play, not a single hand on him. Just making a mistake. The completely wrong time there. New South Wales supporters have gone quiet, says the real Ando. Well, they were leading at halftime, 81 or 91k. I'm not actually sure. I thought I heard 91, but I also have commentary in my ears like turned down really low. So I don't actually know. It would be one of the two, though. I can't imagine, like, there aren't a huge amount of empty seats here at the MCG. So, yeah, I would say if it wasn't 91, it would definitely still be 81. But I'm not sure which one, unfortunately. How many minutes left? Please announce. One singular minute left on the clock. Queensland have got the ball in hand. They'll be just looking to close this one out. Go Maroons. I guess the Maroons will win the 2026 series. If it's anything like the last 2 years, they will. Because whoever wins the first match loses the series is the new trend that has started. And Queensland certainly do have a huge amount of momentum heading into match number 3. Zyda looking faved. Thoughts? Looking faved. What does faved mean? It's definitely going to be a good decider, though, between the sides. Currently 35. Bit of an injury here for Tino Fa'asua-Malawi. Hopefully just a bit of cramp in that calf and nothing more serious. Oh, more cramp here this time for Munster. Our first game is no match to game 2. Blues, what a margin. And also watching from Papua New Guinea. And for the mighty Queensland Maroons. Out Tedesco. There's 12 seconds remaining on the clock, but this game is done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. All that there is now is just one more. The crowd know what's about to happen. They are counting it down. Offload there for the Blues. Looking to get a little bit further back in this one. It is going to be the full-time siren now sounding, though. 44-24 after being down by 4 at halftime. Queensland now other side with the massive comeback in the second 40. And that is going to be 1-1 for the series. And now the decider in 3 weeks' time. We have how many minutes left? No minutes left. Full time now. 44 points to 24. Linda said, F your channel. I assume either Linda wanted to watch the game for free on YouTube or she put a bet on New South Wales to win. Either way, unlucky. We have got their Suncorp next. Correct. Yes, Suncorp just around the corner. 3 weeks' time. It will be once again on the Wednesday. What's the time now? The game's over. All done and dusted. Queensland have won this contest. Let's go Maroons. And full time says Del Ronki there. And second half, locking my odds says Dosa. Yeah, they came out with a game plan. And straight away, the first 3 sets that we saw in terms of New South Wales with the ball in hand, the most meters that they made was 20. So that was the kind of almost defensive switch. I think that Queensland's defense is what won them this game by this margin. Because even when the ball wasn't quite bouncing their way, they kind of dug deep. They stopped those easy meters being made by the Blues. And now they've got a bit of head scratching to do, of course, because Queensland made a few changes in their game or in their squad. The Blues made quite a few. And some of them I don't think worked too well for them. We have got there, I love the smell of victory in the morning, says Roy Ben. Well, I guess, yeah, it is morning here in New Zealand, isn't it? Currently past midnight. Like he said, trial at half. You need to know with Kreiter and Casey out there, someone got outworked in the middle to give Queensland that turnaround, says Cyrus. And also that's so Queensland. And you did say Queensland defence looked good at first, says they are underdog. Yeah, I would be very interested. In fact, I can do that. I was about to say I'd love to know some stats, but fun fact, they have them online. So we're going to quickly see it before the end of this one. Team stats. I think the average meters carried per set will be extremely low for New South Wales. Where are we? Average set distance, it's 32 meters, which is actually higher than I thought it would be. interesting to see what the difference was between the first half and the second half in terms of those meters being made. In fact, I can do that as well because they will show some stats somewhere near halftime. So we'll quickly see if I can find that one. And thank you, the Mighty Maroons, says Steffi, and there as well. And game 3 score as of now. It's going to take a big performance from the Blues if they want any chance in this one. But if the trend continues again, you're probably looking at Queensland by 6-10, maybe. You know, that's the reality at the moment. And that's where the Blues, they will come in as underdogs. And they have to really make sure that they step up. I just realised that I went right back to the start of the game rather than half-time looking for stats. So unfortunately, before a game starts, they don't have many stats about it. Thank you, bro, for your commentary. Appreciate it. We catch you after 3 weeks. Says Roy Man in there. And for anyone who does follow a bit of rugby union as well, we've got the Super Rugby final this weekend. We've got the URC final and a little bit of international friendly rugby between the Barbarians as well as the Springboks. Sadly, it doesn't have what the stat is, but they had 6 uncompleted sets from their first half. New South Wales compared to Queensland, who only had 1 unsuccessful completed set. Tackle breaks was an extra 8 in favour of the Queenslanders. They had 4 penalties. They weren't making a huge amount of meters from their sets, but that seemed to be the fact that they were defending so well was well and truly making up for it. Good night from the Solomon Islands, says Norman there. So it is greatly appreciated you popping in. But yeah, nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, plenty more streams coming up this weekend. And then also alongside that, we have got the State of Origin deciding game taking place in 3 weeks' time. But thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all for the next one.